Welcome everybody. Welcome to today's stream. Hope you had a nice week. And today we have some fun and playing for the last time on stream the new elite specs before they get nerfed. Yeah. So yeah, let's enjoy our time together. Welcome, Control. Welcome. So see what we can do today. There we are. Good morning to you, all your Europeans, and for all the American people, it's late at night. Then, I don't know, good night, I guess. Welcome, everybody. But yeah, as always, if you have any questions, feedback, let me know. Always happy to answer stuff and talk about interesting topics. Yeah, I'm a little bit torn. You know, the new elite specs, they are really fun. They are really strong, and I really like to play them. But on the other side, I think it's like very sad for me as a content creator that I only play the new elite specs. There is almost no time that I would say, yeah, let me pick like a Daredevil or something. It's like, why would I do that? You know, it's just fun. But it's like so much worse than all the other options that oftentimes it just feels like I'm forced to play the new stuff if I want to be like at least somewhat on the top. And that's not like, I'm not that happy about it. So I think like I can definitely see both sides. When people say, I'm so sad that Ritualist gets nerfed, then I can see that because Ritualist right now is really strong and really fun. But I am also on the other side a little bit where I say, yeah, but I would really like to play some Scourge, maybe even some Power Harbinger again. But if you have Ritualist, why would you pick a Power Harbinger? It's like, it's just straight up superior Ritualist. So I feel like there is a lot of like, this discussion going on in this regard. So we will have to see. I want to be quick DP, quick heal. You know, it's like I'm quick heal with Troubadour, and no one looks for quick heal anymore. It's so sad. So sad. I guess I have to do my own party at some point. Maybe let's play some PvP beforehand. Let's see. Maybe that's more like it. Welcome. Good morning to you all. So they have not announced any of the nerfs yet. So the only thing that we know for sure is there will be a balance patch on the 9th. So on the coming Tuesday, so in 3 days, there will be a balance patch that addresses, that's what they said, the Visions of Eternity specs, mostly. Maybe exclusively, who knows. But, and that's the interesting part, we also know that Winter's Day is coming, we also know there's some other things coming. Wait, let me adjust my camera a little bit. There we go, looks better. But the thing is, we don't know what exactly they mean with addressing like Visions of Eternity specs. Does that mean they just nerf some numbers down so that they are somewhat in line with the stuff that is already existing before the Visions of Eternity stuff? Or do they really rework some things that are completely broken or not working or undertuned or whatever, overtuned? Do they completely change stuff, or is it just numbers? And do they even look at older ones? I doubt they look at older ones, to be honest, because we also know, and that's the interesting part to me personally, that 1 week later we get a balance patch preview for the January balance patch, which will happen probably in the middle of January, maybe the end, something like that. And there will be a balance patch preview coming by probably Roy, CMC Trick, in 1 week. So hopefully they will tell us what kind of changes they will do in January. And therefore I expect that the older elite specs that don't need as much addressing, for now at least, because they're not that overtuned, they will not be changed in the 9th patch. I think that is my educated guess here. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So yeah, I have 73 character slots, and I mostly use my characters for, I would say, half of them for storage, and the other half I use to, like you can see, this is my PvP character. I only play this Sylvari character in PvP. Then I have another Elementalist that I play in PvE only, and then I have another Elementalist that I only play in World versus World. So I have, so to say, I split my build templates and equipment templates so that it actually is, for me, very easy to have a character and don't need to invest into new equipment templates, new bag slots, and that kind of stuff. Holy moly, we have actually quite good people here. Do we fight against someone good here? I have no clue who those people are. We will see. So I will answer some more questions later. I just have to concentrate a bit here. It's always like, oh, this guy is so dead. I hope they will nerf the price tag of Guild Wars Reforged in my region. I think some people are complaining about that. I think that might actually happen. I'm not sure how set in stone the price tag is for this, so to say, somewhat relaunch of Guild Wars 1, but oof. I think this match is over. The enemy team is like already staggered. Ooh, no, maybe not. Got the rest here, very good. Should get another kill here. No. To be a bit careful though. Of course, we are fighting against like a ritualist, which is very annoying to me. So it was a rather okay elite skill, to be honest. Okay. Oh my god. It's like the biggest problem that I have playing with this build here specifically is 100% like conduits. Conduits, they just look at me, I get 10 stacks of torment, and I'm so dead. Like, just straight up, I'm dead. I mean, 82%, I'm fine if I'm dying here. I'm completely fine. Welcome, Piggy. Welcome. Glad to hear that. Welcome, Winslow. I'm looking at Conduit in competitive modes, and I think Conduit needs to get a nerf. I'm looking at Conduit in PvE, and I think Conduit needs to get a buff, at least the flexibility. I think the Condi build is already quite strong as a DPS build, but I feel like power Conduit specifically, and maybe just give some alacrity or quickness to Conduit. Come on. That will be, if that just happens, you know, just add one boot, and I will be happy with Conduit a bit, you know, in PvE. I think Conduit is like, it's so feeling so bad. We don't know any nerfs yet. It's so sad. You know, I'm so looking forward to Tuesday. I will do a video instantly about that, because I'm just like, the nerfs is for me breaking the, so to say, my fun about tier lists and stuff like that, because I cannot do any tier lists and stuff about anything, because I don't know how much the nerfs or buffs or changes, whatever they will do on Tuesday, how much they affect anything. So I'm completely like on hold right now. And that's a little bit sad. I want to get some stuff out. Oh my god. That's probably a good utility. Yeah, was okay. Need to get the kill here. Nice, got them. Oh my god, Conduit looks at me. I have 10 torment. Oh my god, Conduit is disgusting in competitive modes. It's so crazy. Can I get the rest here? No. We have to get the kill here, maybe. Come on. Amalgam is also annoying to fight. Not good. Can you show me how to play Staff Tempest, heal and push? I saw your video in Conquest. Yeah, I can show it after this match. Staff Tempest is good. I think Staff Tempest is one of the better supports in push specifically, because you have range support. And that's something that should not be like taken too like, you should not underestimate it, let's say it like that. Because Staff has a lot of ranged healing in the kit, which is really, really strong in a lot of situations, just straight up. And you don't need to be that tanky if you can heal from range. And Staff Tempest does not have crazy tankiness. That's a lot of damage they put on there, but I did not get hit by this. Maybe we get the kill here. Probably we get the kill. Yeah, there we go. Maybe we get multiple kills here. They will, hopefully they will rally my teammate. Hopefully they rally here. Yep, they rallied. That's good. That's the interesting thing with push. It doesn't really matter if the fight is directly in front of your base. If you just pushed once farther than the enemy team, then you win. So, oh my god, Conduit is again on me. It's like insane. If a Conduit looks at me, I get like 6 stacks of Torment instantly, and I will just straight up die. Because I have 1 Conduit cleanse. Yes, that's not helping. That's not helping. I have some insight. Rich list is getting nerfed. Don't tell ANET. Leaked info. Yeah, I mean, I would be very surprised if that wouldn't be the case. So, Hubby, I'm with you there. I'm with you there. I'm winning a lot in gold too, but I feel like my opening is really weak. Just wanted to see how you place your spells. Sure, I can show you. Sure. It's push too, so Conduit dump is even worse. Yeah, I think in push it's like, it's so annoying because like if you, oh my god, look at this. I'm probably dead here if they follow up. Yeah, okay. The Elementalist is also here. I have to use that just in case. I need some healing here. Okay, just wanted to make sure. I probably would have won this 1-on-1 anyway because I had more health than them. But I have to be really careful. If I die here, my team might actually like. Maybe I get the rest here. Is someone watching? Nope. That's good. That's good. I will answer some more questions after this or talk to you, but I have to concentrate. This is actually a very close match. I'm surprised how close it was. The opener was so clean from us, but okay. Hey, the Amalgam is killing everyone in a 1-on-1. It's crazy. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Not looking that hot. I don't have my elite skill yet. Let me get a kill here. Oh my god. Okay, at least I could port up here. That's always a very, very good safe spot because not a lot of people can port up here. I'm not sure if I jump down I might die, but I could get the kill here. They are all on node. Anyway, we got 1 kill back after the... Should probably have made the decision earlier, to be honest. Last match before the stream, like yesterday or something, I had a push match with this build, and I had 6 stacks of the sword, and I had like insane damage. Like with just my auto tick, I hit like for 5-6k or something. It was insane. It was really, really fun to play, but I was also very squishy because the enemy team obviously also had a decent amount of like swords because just the match was going quite long. It was really, really fun to watch. I have to cleave them. Scary, scary, but I mean, we should win. We are like 96%. Should be good. Should be good. Very nice. We did it. Very good. Top player revives. That's what you want to see as a spec. That's what you want to see. Very good. So, let's answer some more questions. I just don't understand why they needed Evoker and Luminary. Yes, it's deserved. But it was a way of dealing with condition conduit, and they didn't nerf conduit. Yeah, I still think it was crazy to me that they nerfed Luminary and Evoker, which was very overtuned, but they didn't see conduit as overtuned in PvP. I think that's crazy to me. I have no clue why they did that and what is the issue there, but I mean, that's the balance team, I guess. That's the balance team. Okay, Staff Tempest, that's what you wanted to see. Can you write /played in chat? I can write that, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure if /played works. /h should work. /h should work. That should work. So if you type that should work and tell you how long you played the game and how many days you already have the game. Yeah. That should work. But mine is not like that. It's crazy numbers, but it's way more crazy from other content creators, I would say. Welcome, Wiz. Welcome, welcome. Dagger CC Evoker, yes, I tried it. I think it's quite fun, but I think it's just like not carrying as much. It's like if you play some kind of bruiser build in push that doesn't I mean, that isn't Evoker or Amalgam, then I'm personally thinking it's like not working. You know, it's like, why would you pick some kind of bruiser build in push that is just like straight up inferior to Conduit and Amalgam? Yes, it might be fun, but I think, to be honest, it is just like CC Evoker in Conquest is okay. It's not crazy good. I think it's like Fresh Air Evoker or like Hair Evoker is better, just straight up. It does more, it brings more to the team. But I think in push, it's not working. Yeah. Yeah, it's /H. I can showcase. I mean, it's a high number. It's a high number what I have here. So I played for almost 14k hours. Yeah, so it's quite a high number for sure. Definitely. The Spear Evoker you are playing is really good, and as I always say, I prefer it over the Scepter, but you need to practice a lot. Yeah, definitely. I think the Scepter variant is way safer and therefore way better in a 1-on-1. If you have a similar leveled skill matchup, so you have yourself playing Spear and you have someone playing Dagger Focus, or Scepter Focus rather, and you have a fair 1-on-1, typically the Spear one loses, because the Spear one is just more AoE, less on self-sustain and less on just defenses, and therefore Focus will probably win, like in 95% of the cases. You can have a really lucky combo and kill them, sure, but it's typical that the Scepter Focus wins. And I think personally I have way more fun with Spear, especially in push, because the AoE potential and just the raw like oomph that you bring to your team is just really good, like really, really good. That's why I like it so much. But I can understand if you say, it's too difficult or it's too inconsistent for my rating. I would rather go with the more single target burst focus, but more sustaining build. I think that makes complete sense as well. Yeah. I'm good. How are you doing? The patch is coming out on the 9th, yes. That's why I have up on Platinum after reaching. If not playing Conduit, I'm throwing for my team. Yeah, exactly. I think if you play ranked, specifically Conquest ranked or even push ranked, and you don't play the Visions of Eternity specs, you really are not, I wouldn't say you are grieving your team, but I would say you actually have a disadvantage already, because they are right now in push, especially Conduit, is just so good. In push, it's actually, I would say, Conduit isn't as broken in push as it is in Conquest. In Conquest, it doesn't matter if a Conduit is in a 1-on-1, in a team fight, it's just typically, it wins if there are not enough enemy Conduits around. It's just crazy. In push, it's a little bit more, because it's slower. If you can kite it, you can actually win. I have a clip on my YouTube channel where I actually really like win a 2v2 with Spear Cutter against 2 Conduits or something. It's possible. It's just like you have to kite them well. And in push, it's easier because you don't have necessarily to always stay on the node. You know, if the Conduit just stays on node in a Conquest match and you try to out-kite it, then you will just lose the match at some point because they have the node. In push, you can always have someone else standing on the node and you can actually kite them. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I feel it's definitely too strong either way. Yeah. I feel like the balance team just completely forgot about Conduit last patch. Yeah, I think they just had some things in mind that were completely overtuned and didn't think about too much. They just wanted to hotfix the things that they had in mind and forgot some things that were maybe not as often played. I don't know. But yeah, that's just how it is. And I also want to mention here, power Conduit in competitive modes especially is really, really good as well. It's very squishy, but the damage output is insane. I had that last week in a push match. Someone teleported on me and used the Sword 2. I'm not joking. Sword 2 and I was dead. It was just the Sword 2 that killed me, one-shot me. It's really strong power Conduit. And that is probably, if they only nerf Condi Conduit, I think power Conduit will be very, very good after the patch, for sure. It is definitely way squishier, and that's definitely a fair disadvantage. But if everything else gets nerfed and power Conduit stays the same, I think that will be a top build, yeah. No, I will not get nerfed this, don't worry, hopefully. It's only the nerfs coming with the next balance patch on Tuesday. Yeah, Visions of Eternity balance patch Hammer, hopefully. Some big changes. Yeah, there are so many combos on Power Conduit that actually can delete Catalyst and Evoker that are playing some kind of spear build, or even if you play Scepter, it's the same, you know, if you just are not aware, Conduit engages on you, you're dead within like half a second. It's crazy. It's really, really good. Do you have any suggestion currently the best way to farm spirit shards? So I would say during Halloween, it's the Halloween, like, how is it called? The Halloween Labyrinth, but it's not up anymore, so I would say the best way to farm spirit shards is just play the game and hopefully play a lot of open world meta events, stuff like that. You can farm tier 1 rifts, for example, tier 2 rifts or something if you do it very fast with a group. In the new maps, that can be a decent way because you also get some map currency there. I don't know, it depends a bit. I personally think there are many ways, just kill a lot of mobs. That's it in PvE, that farms a lot of spirit shards. But I'm the wrong person to ask what is the best way to farm spirit shards, because I have like, I don't know, 15k lying around. So for me, it's always just play the game, you get spirit shards, but I know for a new player, that's not how it is. You just accumulate them over time. So quickly mentioning here, hopefully my player here joins, otherwise we have not a fair match. But I'm playing like the Staff Tempest now, and I'm playing the Earth variant, obviously, so that I have nice defenses, a little bit of defenses against critical hits with Stoneheart. And other than that, I'm playing like quite a meta build here. And it's really, really important that you take Renewal the Glyph, because this is so good for push. In push, I had multiple times, I'm not joking, where I actually got the Earth Glyph off, which revives multiple people, and it worked. I got like 2-3 people with this glyph already in push. That is really, really good. Oh no, we have an unfair match. No, that's not good. So you can pre-stack some swiftness if you feel like it, just so that your team has some swiftness, because I mean, I know we get the buff here to move faster, but when we go in fight and we already have some swiftness still lying around, that can work and help you. I think this is like just a lost match probably, because it's just like we don't have enough people. Yeah. Oh my god. That was a nasty. I mean, they are just on me here. It's like not good, not good, not good. Yeah, I mean, 2 Condi builds on me and I'm the support. I mean, that's just like, now our Mechan is joined. I mean, that's probably already like the first fight lost. It's okay, we can still win it, but that's not good. That's not good. Push is in ranked, yes, for the next few days until Tuesday. We have 1 week of push in ranked, yes. Yeah, Conduit is right now, I would say, the best side-noting build, and also very, very strong team fighting build. It's really, really good right now. So maybe we can get the Resurrect on the... Should we try to resurrect the guy? Not sure. Where is it? Okay, we I don't know. We somewhat rallied from our very horrible start. That's good. You, as a Tempest, you should never stand on node. If someone else is there, you should never, ever stand on node. This guy is so dead, and I think I cannot even get the res here. Nah, I will not go for it. I will not go for it. Because it's like, if I get the res here, they will just instantly die again because they have too many stacks, you know, even if I get the resurrection. So I just want to get out of combat here so that I actually get some healing again. It's not good. It's not looking good. Can get some CC or not maybe here. And some healing for my ally here, but they will go down. Maybe I can get the rest this time. Yep, there we go. Water Glyph is always good, always the best option if you only have one. Not always, but most often. Like a good option for if only a single player to resurrect. Not the best option here. I have some resistance, that's good. It's like I'm having not enough Condi cleanses to fight against all the conduits, and that's a big problem. Now I can put some Condi cleanses on the node, but as soon as I used my healing rain, that's why Tempest is not the absolute best support anymore, because Conduit is just completely destroying it. Look at this, I'm dead now. I have not enough cleanses for that. It's just Conduit looks at you, especially if there's another amalgam as well. then you die. That Tempest is really fun if there is a power build based meta and some Condis in there. But if you have like 2 Condi builds in the enemy team that can engage on you, it's not fun. You will die very fast. It's just you don't have enough Condi cleanses. Big problem of Tempest. And I think that's a fair disadvantage because you are very good against power builds that are, so to say, wanting to engage on you because you have so much CC and stuff like that. But for a Condi build, they just look at you, apply a little bit of Condis, and it's done. Yeah, they will rally here and then probably do the final push. A little bit sad, but yeah, I mean, Mechanist is like, who plays Mechanist in Conquest? That's like, or in Push rather. Yeah, not the best option, not the best option. Not good, not good. Not a really good showcase, to be honest, of the build either. That's the sad part. But I think I will never get a match without a conduit. That's the sad. Like, there will always be a conduit in the enemy team. Like that's the most likely outcome here. Having at least one conduit in the enemy team. Because right now, I think almost everybody that plays PvP knows conduit is a good option. Yes, I'm playing Staff, exactly. Yeah, it's like until Tuesday. So you have like 3 more days. Maybe we can rally. We have 5 more minutes on the clock, so it's not like completely lost yet, but ooh, tough one. The conduit pull, nasty, nasty. Into the spear immobilize. Oh my god. I have to like get the disengage here. But if they stay on me, I'm just dead. I just don't have enough. Can we get the rest here? We can get the rest, but I'm not sure if it's wasted. Maybe it's just wasted to resurrect our Mechanist, because they will just go down again. Mechanist is so bad in push. In general, in PvP, it's just not good. But in push, like, what is it doing? I mean, we are somewhat going back. Can we get this here? No. Nah, not gonna work. Hand dresses are very scary, so always be very, very careful. Maybe we can get them knock them out here, get the thing. That's the good part. If they don't have stability, you can actually knock them out of the card and then get the, so to say, CC to prevent them from going back onto the card. So I mean, it can work. No. I mean, if it goes to timer, we lost it straight up. So we have to push the card. We have to get the card to at least 94%. So far, it looks decent. It looks decent. Get some. Oh god. Yeah, now I'm dead. Classic. They see me and I'm dead. So sad. Oh, I got the rally, but is it enough? Probably not. Maybe I can get the self-rest. I'm really like close to our spawn and there's no one here. Yeah. You think they will also buff some stuff? I hope they will buff some stuff. I really hope it's not just like looking at the overperforming specs in all game modes and tuning down the numbers. I think that would be sad. I really hope there will be some kind of changes to stuff that is already underperforming, that maybe is bugged and stuff like that. That would be my big hope, but I have no clue. I really don't know. I was surprised last balance patch that there was almost no changes, and the changes that were there were not even the best ones because Conduit didn't get touched, for example, in PvP. So that was very surprising to me, but so I cannot make any assumptions for the next balance patch anymore, to be honest. Yeah, Tempest is I would say, like, not in the top 3 supports anymore. Oh my god. I can get 1 resurrection again, so let's see. No, I wasted it. It was like a, I don't know, a fraction of a second. Very sad, but I guess we got some kills here, I guess. Because of the hammer, that's good. but we still only have 2 minutes on the clock. So, you know, they just have to hold. They just have to hold. And that's good enough. Yeah, our Mechanist is like feeding like crazy. Not gonna work. Not gonna work. I have my Healing Rain, so it's fine. So if I get hit by Conduits, if I have my Healing Rain, it's fine. But if I don't, I'm probably dead. Nice, we can maybe get this stomp here. Nope. Nah, this is not gonna work. Sad. You see, look at this. I'm like 10 torment. What? It's like insane. I just die to the holy moly. I just die to like a random spear attack. It's really, really good. I can get some healing out and hopefully can hold it, but it's just 1 minute. I don't have any hopes, to be honest, for this match anymore. It's just like I have one big attack that counters the Conduit auto attack. That's about it. Tempest is just outclassed nowadays. That's the sad part. You know, I played yesterday, I played some Troubadour. It's definitely better than Tempest because it also has ranged healing and it has way more defenses and Condi cleanses. So maybe we can rally here. Get the rally. Yeah, we got the rally. I mean, 44 seconds. I think this is not even possible to push the card to 94% anymore. It was fun at least. It was still fun. Still fun. Yeah, I'm sorry against all the Mechanist fans out there. It's just like I feel like Mechanist in PvP in ranked matches, it's just like you will not provide as much value as if you played Amalgam, Scrapper, or like any other spec, to be honest. Like even Holosmith, of course, those three are way better than Conduit, than Mechanist. And even if you played like, I don't know, Virtuoso or whatever you want, I think it's better than Mechanist. I think it's just like, yeah, it's over now, 2 seconds. It's fine, it's fine. It was fun. Fun nonetheless. So the best supports right now would be Luminary, Troubadour. Those two are very good. And even to be honest, like Paragon and Spellbreaker, I feel like are somewhat better than Tempest right now. Tempest is good, don't get me wrong. Tempest is really good because you have ranged healing. But in the current meta with a lot of Condi pressure, I think it's better to have something that has a lot of Condi heals and stuff like that are spread. You know, you have two skills, your healing skill and your healing rain on Tempest, that heals a lot and gives a lot of Condi removes. But if you use those and your Water Overload maybe, yeah? If you use those, you are almost out of any options. And if you play like Luminary, Troubadour, Paragon, they have consistent, not as big Condi cleanses, but consistent. So you can actually help your team every 10 seconds instead of every 30 seconds. That's why I feel like personally Tempest is good, but it's not top tier anymore. It's like an A tier healer, I would say. Yeah, I mean, I think this match might have gone different if we didn't have an AFK in the beginning, maybe, but it was also a Mechanist. So I don't want to be mean here, but I think having an AFK Mechanist is not as bad as having an AFK Conduit. Just mentioning, yeah. Yeah, I can showcase some support again. Yeah, let's play some support. I don't know, we can play... What do I like to play? Yeah, I mean, we can play some Troubadour. Let's play some Troubadour. I don't show a lot of Mesmer on stream and PvP, so let's play some Troubadour support, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, Waterlock, Staff Evoker in World vs. World is really, really good. Yeah, really, really good. Yeah, Torment from whom? I mean, it's always Conduit. Like, Torment is like, if you have Torment in PvP, it's from a Conduit. It's really, really good. Yeah, glad you like it, Absolute Paradox. Glad you like it. No, don't. I think if you have a good player on Mechanist, then it might be different. But the problem is, oftentimes, there is a correlation between players that are not very skilled in PvP playing Mechanist, because Mechanist is a class that is somewhat easy on Engineer to learn. And that is not a good combination, because Mechanist by itself is not very good in PvP, and then you have an inexperienced player playing it, that's typically not leading to a win. That's what I'm saying. I'm not blaming any mechanist or fan of mechanist. I'm just saying that's what I observe in PvP. Yeah. I can play support Paragon as well. Yes, we can do that. But I have to say, I think Troubadour and Luminary are better. So I will play some Paragon and hopefully it will work. But against Condis, you struggle the most out of those three. And that is noticeable. Definitely noticeable. So I have that Condi cleanse and I have some Condi cleanses here. Let's check if I can maybe get some more here. Maybe we can get some more. What is a good Condi cleanse? Is there a Condi cleanse here? No, it's just the healing thing. I mean, you have some. Yeah, let's play it like that and hope for the best. Hopefully not that many converts in the match. Yeah. Popped in to say, hey, thank you for your hard work. Always happy to help and always happy to hear that. Thanks. Yeah. I did not play Guild Wars 1 Reforged yet. I just have so much stuff on my plate right now, what I want to do and what I have to do, not only for like Guild Wars 2 content, but also upcoming stuff for my YouTube channel and stuff. So I have so much stuff, and to be honest, Guild Wars 1 was never my, like, I was more drawn always to Guild Wars 2. It's more active, more snappy, more fluid, the gameplay, and it's just better suited to my playstyle. So maybe I will take a look at it, but for now it doesn't really interest me that much. I know it's a good game, but it's not my type of game that much. So for now I have so much to do and it's not my favorite game, so maybe at some point, but right now I have so much stuff to do. Probably not right now. Yeah, Core Warrior might even be better than Paragon. That is maybe, I think Core Warrior has the problem that it is like not providing that many boons. Like Paragon provides insane amount of boons. You will see that when I like play support here. I'm less heal and cleanse reliant than other supporters because I provide like 10 boons in PvP to my allies, which is really, really good. Because if you have someone that does a lot of damage, like a Spear Evoker, like a Luminary, like a Conduit, those make so good use out of multiple boons. They cannot get themselves, but if they get the boons, they actually get a lot of damage. Yeah. We will see, we will see. Someone wanted to see Paragon, so that's what we're gonna play, and let's see how it goes, I'm struggling with 101 on Terramancer on World vs. World, any advice? It's a good build, but in 101s oftentimes you get countered because you're quite slow. And that is something that is, you just have to try to understand how port spots and no port spots work. So if I climb up this tree here, and I would be a Necromancer, for example, I could still hit the target because I have ranged attacks. If the target wants to teleport to me, they cannot because I'm on a port spot. If you know those spots in World vs. World when you roam, you will get way less damage while still dealing a lot of damage. And if you then at the same time fight against a ranged target and you try to line of sight when you use your attacks and then go out of line of sight to hit your attacks and go back in, you can actually get way less damage than you would normally get. So I think there are a lot of intricacies about roaming in general, how to play the builds and understand their weaknesses and strengths, but it's just practice at the end of the day. It's just practice, yeah. How do I learn all about the other abilities when playing PvP? There are so many. I think it's just patience. Either play them yourself, the specs, and have fun and try to understand what you are doing when you play them yourself, or just play the build that you enjoy the most and try to understand what killed you. Those two options exist, but in the end it's both of them just require patience. Just continuously playing the game and having fun, trying to improve. Yeah. Yeah, the new specs are a power grab for sure. That's why I'm hoping for a big nerf on Tuesday. That is my big hope, that they are tuned down to a level where they are somewhat balanced and somewhat similar to the older elite specs and core classes even, so that we have a fair meta where I can say I'm playing a Condition Herald and I will also help my team and not completely grieve them for not playing, I don't know, Condition Conduit. Yeah. So we have a, what is that? Probably core. Oh my god, we have the Mechanist again. I'm not sure if that's the... I think I cannot play that here, to be honest. I'm not sure if I can play support here. We have like We already have a support warrior. Thanks a lot for the sub, Howl. Really appreciate it. Thanks a lot for your support. Hope you're still enjoying the stream after 6 months. Legend. Very good. Yeah, I mean, should we try support Paragon here? They don't have a conduit. Oh my god. It's a one match. They don't have a conduit. Yes, let's play it here. This patch will hopefully affect everything. Hopefully it will affect not only PvE or PvP, but both. Yes. The matchmaking in PvP considers the team comp. So if you're, for example, if you're duo queuing with another conduit, so you're playing 2 conduits, and then it's more likely that you will get conduits against you instead of your team. It's considered is it to some extent, but if like there are currently 20 people queuing and 10 of them get conduit, 10 of them are queuing as conduits, it will not always make 5 versus 5 conduits. It will try, but it will not always work like that. So it will consider it, but it's not the highest important part, yeah. So I think it's like the least important thing that the matchmaking considers. Is way more about where are you currently, where were you before in the rating, and also like, oh my god, they just engaged like crazy on everybody here. Can we get the banner here, maybe? Yeah, we got the banner. Okay, at least that. But it was obviously... The mechanist is dead left and right. Okay, get some stability on node, maybe. Yeah, maybe that helps. But the boon output, you just have to look at my boons that I provide to my team. And because I am a support that also provides very nice boons, this is also a very nice stun break for your allies. This is really, really potent now. We can get some boons out, some might out, and push the card. Hopefully this guy is dead. Nice, we got a pull. Then you can actually provide a lot of value to your team without needing to heal them all the time. You have stun breaks, you have stability. Stuff like a core warrior has a lot of healing, yes, but I think the boon output, and especially for example like the stun breaks and stuff like that, it's not as good as is with Paragon. So we are looking good. My team is like, except the mechanist, no one is like really feeding to it. Oh my god, the core warrior as well. I would love a banner right now. Nah, not gonna work, not gonna work. Nice, we got the kill, we sniped it with our sword 3, hard-hitting power attack, obviously. Intense, intense. Holy moly, what was that? I just got sniped by an evoker, I think. Please let me... Nice, we got the rally. That was a big attack, big hit by the evoker. Okay, the evoker is so dead this time. Nice, we got them. I hope they don't touch hair ritualists in the patch. I like having Perva super speed even out of combat. I feel like they will. They will. I would be very surprised if they wouldn't touch evoker, ritualist, conduit, those specs. I would be very, very surprised. Look at the boons. Those boons are insane. Like, that's a PvE amount of boons, or world versus world for that matter. But it's obviously just short lasting, but that's oftentimes good enough. Because if you can land the burst in that short amount of time period, ooh, yeah, it's good, it's good, it's good. Yeah, nice. I mean, was a decent showcase so far. I think the match is almost over now, because we will just continuously stagger their deaths, hopefully. That's how you win push, by killing one after the other, but not killing all of them at the same time. So they will not get the respawn all the time. That is something that is very important to understand in push. Remember when Elementalist Scepter got a rework? Yeah, it's crazy. Like nowadays, it's like Scepter is still very, very good. Should try to go for the console, to be honest. Consoles win you the match. If the match takes very long, consoles win you the match. Of course, I'm playing heal, so I'm not like getting any value from that. But for... Should we try to get the rally? No, it's just the mechanist. I will not waste my banner here. Okay, give some stability. Nice, we got an emote here. Nope, no one wants to follow up. That's okay. Okay, so far so good. Some stability on node. Some healing. No, my teammate is dead. That's not good. Then we get the rally here. Oh, there's poison on there. Oh my god. Painful, painful. My banner did not rally them. We have to go for the hand press here. Let me get... That was very close. But we made it. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that is fair. If you have another support, then Paragon can be very can be the top star of the match, because you can provide boons without focusing on your healing. That is a very valid point, but you can see it doesn't matter too much if you have good teammates here that can make use out of the boons. You don't need to be the top healer, because oftentimes boons can carry the match as well. You know, giving quickness to a DPS player in the right moment is like insane value. Way more value than if you would just heal them for 10k. I'm not joking. Because killing someone with quickness is 50% faster. So if they use it well, it's just insane value. Insane value. Okay, it's a little bit annoying here. Oh, the Evoker is on me. We might actually not have the win yet. Not yet. Okay. Yeah, Ritualist mains will be so unhappy, but I really hope Ritualist will get nerfed like crazy. I think like Ritualist is one of the specs that is like overperforming in all game modes, and I think it needs to get nerfed. It's not healthy for the game to have a spec that is easy, tanky, high damage, mobile. I could go on. It has CC, has spoons in the base kit. I think there is almost no reason to say Ritualist will not get a nerf. Like, there is no reason, to be honest. Nice, we got one. Get another one. My whole team is on respawn. Okay, okay. They are running in against 5 people. That's ambitious. Very ambitious. How did my Guardian instantly die? What? They just like, they survived like a second. That's crazy. Could try precasting the banner, because like, to be honest, what was that pull? Okay, we got a kill, surprisingly enough, after we lost like half our team. Okay, okay, okay. Nice, we got another kill. Nice, we got some CC. Maybe we can kill them again. Nice, another one. We just have to hold it for 2 minutes and we are fine. Okay, it's good idea. Push into the spawn. Okay, I'm providing some barrier just so that we get out of this. Nice, nice, nice. Looks good. This is a good player, obviously. Good player. Some stun break. Some healing, some CC. Nice, we got a pull even here on the Evoker. That's good, very good, very good. Evokers are always a good target. Doesn't matter what kind of builds they are playing, they are somewhat squishy. Even the Earth Todd Evoker, if you get a nice like CC chain on them, they will die. Keep that in mind. I mean, they have 2 like snipe people, which is obviously a lot of damage, but they cannot stand and hold the node. I will just safely go for the banner here. Again! How often do I not get the... That's so annoying. because they have the stacks, you know, the stacks make it so that you don't get enough healing, and that will lead to me not being able to banner them because they just stood on node for way too long. Well, play there for that matter. There we go. Get this guy. Nice. Yeah. Should be one now. We have 1 minute left. They will probably not push in time. I'm not sure. Antiquary is like there is some secret World versus Worlds Circ Antiquary that is really, really good. I'm not sure. Can I get that dress maybe? Might get that one. Nope. But it's only 30 seconds, so we are good anyway. I haven't tried it, but I feel like Dragon Hunter would be OP in this mode. I don't know. I feel like Dragon Hunter is okay. It's not insane. It's not bad either. I think it's how builds should be, to be honest, in that regard, from the strength, from the power level. Nice, we got it. Core Warrior had more healing, but we won anyway. That's good. Very good. So Antiquary is good in World vs. World for a very nasty Circ build, and you have some surprisingly tanky builds, side noder builds in Conquest as well, but in Push I would not recommend it, to be honest. Or maybe someone has a crazy build, but I don't think so. I think Antiquary will get a crazy big nerf in PvE though. PvE is like very, very high damage numbers. It's really, really high. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's both. I think if they have the big stacks of the node buff and they are poisoned, they will just receive almost no healing, and that's why the banner doesn't work anymore. But if they are just poisoned and they don't have the Demon Queen relic, it would not be able to negate my downstate healing anyway because I have Transference Sigil. So there are some ways to counteract poison, but if they have the Demon Queen relic, which reduces healing done with poison by 50% instead of 33, then I will not be able to get through even with the Transference Sigil. So there are some really nasty things, but if the node, they didn't even have poison, but if the node has 10 sticks on them, I cannot resurrect them. It's just impossible. They receive, I would say, factually no healing anymore. And then I cannot resurrect them. Yeah, there are multiple things in Push that worked there together, but it didn't matter. We won. Yeah. I don't know the nerfs yet. We will see the nerfs on Tuesday, hopefully before then, but I think it will probably be patch time on Tuesday when we get all the nerfs and buffs, hopefully, to see. Yeah. Yeah, on the 9th of December, that is. Yes, exactly. So, just read about Guild Wars 2 having 21 million players. You think that's the active number or overall accounts created? That is a very good question. I'm not sure if you can trust this source. And the problem is, like, Guild Wars 2, I think, has a lot of players that are playing very, like, on and off. Yeah. So I'm not sure if they are counted in. Probably they are, because having 20 million active players is huge. That's very unlikely. I think that's just the overall accounts, or at least the accounts that are somewhat active, that had some activity in the last 5 years or something. That is more reasonable. I think having active players, so that played in the last month, would be insane. I think that's not very likely. I think Guild Wars 2 probably counts with the amount of active players, probably to the top 5 MMOs in Western countries. I'm pretty sure about that one. But I think it doesn't have very high numbers in terms of like consistent long-term veterans staying around. It's way more casual players that come in, play the game for a bit, and then leave the game and come back like 1 month, 6 months, a year after that again. That's way more how Guild Wars 2 community plays the game. Which is okay. I'm not saying that's a negative thing. I'm just saying just an observation here. Just an observation. So let's see. I want to play Troubadour. Please let me play Troubadour. Maybe. It's always really sad because they're always looking for alacrity heal and quick DPS, so I can never play my Troubadour. I really wanted to try some Troubadour in PvE, but it looks like they will never let me do that. Do you think Druid could do some buffs in PvE? I think in general, that might be a very hot take, but I think Druid is okay. The more important part, and I'm not joking here, is that core Ranger should get some stability access so that Untamed will be a healer as well. Because right now Untamed has the big problem of having no stability access at all. So giving core Ranger one shared stability in a trade, maybe with a utility skill together, so that you have to invest a lot to get it, but it is there, then you could make an Untamed healer, maybe even Druid even better stability uptime, and Druid would get buffed passively as well. I think that would be a really nice way to do it. But like I said earlier, I expect the patch on Tuesday to be only about the Visions of Eternity specs, and the big balance patch coming in January, that will be the one that changes old stuff as well. So Druid, Untamed, that kind of stuff. I think the one on Tuesday will only address the newest elite specs, yes. I hope they change some stuff for the Conduit. The meta builds in PvP don't even use the new legendary stance. I mean, cool that it's seeing play, but the builds it uses are like Core Revenant. Absolutely. That's how Convert is designed in a way. And I think like the legend itself was always somewhat, it's good, 1 or 2 attacks, but the others are barely useful. So I think that is a big problem. I'm not sure if they will rework the legend though. I think it's more like the traits have to be strong enough and the utility and profession mechanics that you take Convert. I think the stance itself might be good in certain situations, but it's not always the best option. And I think that is okay. That just leads to a weird world where it feels like a core remnant. I think that's, I made a whole video about this topic and people like said I'm completely insane for mentioning that, but I mean, that's how I feel. Yeah. Exactly, absolute paradox. Exactly. It's a lot of people either start playing Guild Wars 2 in the last few months or coming back from like years of a break. And that I think that's completely fine. I think that's even really cool coming back to a game that you played years ago. I'm so happy that we got a lot of players, returning players, new players alike, because I think the game needs more fresh blood. And it doesn't matter if you played the game 10 years ago, if you have never played it. I think more new players helps the game anyway. Either way, it's always really, really good. Yeah. Welcome, Simple. I'm order of the level of nerfs you reckon will happen. Can you rank them? As in which Visions of Eternity elites will see the greatest nerfs and which will the least? So I expect Paragon and probably Troubadour to be the ones that either get buffed or see the least amount of nerfs. I would say Paragon seems to be like the one that gets probably in PvE buffs, and Troubadour might even get buffs as well. But I would say especially like Antiquary, Evoker, Conduit, maybe even like Luminary, they will get nerfed for sure. I think we have some kind of middle ground with Gale Shot and Amalgam, and that seems to be some kind of middle ground here. But Ritualist, Conduit, and Luminary, Antiquary, Evoker, those 5 will get a big nerf. I would be so surprised if we would get like no crazy nerfs. I would be really surprised. It's just not how it works. Yeah. I've played Guild Wars 2 since release and I came back every 2 years. I mean, that's how you can make it work as well. You know, that's the cool part about a horizontal progression game. You don't have to play all the time. You just can come back whenever you like and you will not lose anything. You will not have to go for the best in slot gear anymore because you might have it already and it will stay relevant for all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, right now it is you have to have the newest expansion to play competitive modes. If you want to win at least. That is true. But in hopefully a week, that will not be the case anymore. I hope that the balance patch on Tuesday will make it so that you actually have the option to decide between all the elite specs to choose, and you will never grief your team by going for specific elite specs because all of them are somewhat on the same level. Yes, some of them might be better in this niche, some of them might be better in that situation, sure. But right now it feels like there is almost no Visions of Eternity spec that is just not like crazy better than the others. It feels like it at least, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people from New World especially are joining Guild Wars 2, that is true. I mean, let's see how if they are sticking around. Hopefully that would be good. And I'm happy about every new player, so just mentioning it, yeah, for sure. Yes, I will do a YouTube video today, the new patch notes releases, so you will see that hopefully the same day. Yes, that is my hope. I will probably get that done, yeah. At least if the notes are not released like in the middle of the night or something. Yes. So, let's have some fun with Troubadour here. Troubadour is really good as a support. People really underestimated how good like Troubadour is. Yeah, the boon output is really, really good. And the ease, you know, the ease of the boon output is also extremely strong. Like I'm using like 2 buttons or something and I can upkeep like my quickness, might, fury and all the good boons with just 2 buttons or something. It's like a low intensity version of a Chronomancer to some extent. It's really good. It will be interesting to see how many people will switch back to non-Visions of Eternity lead specs after the next patch. I hope we will see a healthy spread. You know, I don't want to get them nerfed so much that no one will play them. I think that will be very sad if that would happen. But I expect it to be more like you get nerfs and some of the specs are way worse. Some of the specs are just a little bit worse. Some of the specs might even get better. And in the end, you hopefully have a nice spread of people playing Visions of Eternity specs and some people playing, I don't know, Heart of Thorn specs, Path of Fire specs, so just everything a little bit. That would be my hope. Yeah. At least I will do that. I will do that for sure. Yeah, the problem is with Antiquary is that a lot of Thief mains that would make videos about Antiquary in competitive modes don't like the spec. So you're losing the mains, and I'm not a Thief main, so I will release, by the way, a video later about Antiquary, but the thing is, it's very hard to make a build work if you are just not skilled on a specific class. And Thief is a class that you have to actually understand quite well to actually say if a build is good or not. Because if I play, for example, good example would be like a Rifle Deadeye in PvP. That build is quite good, yeah? It's not the best top tier build anymore, but it's a quite good build. But if I would get this build, I would make it look like it looks garbage. Absolutely, because I'm bad on this specific build. So I cannot make a really theory crafting video about like a spec or something and make it really shine because I'm just not as good on this specific build. That is a problem that you encounter with some kind of niche builds and situations like that. Because Thief is just very special in that regard. Thief plays always a little bit different than a lot of other classes. For the better or for the worse, for sure. Yeah, but that's how I feel at least, yeah. I think Luminary might get nerfed because Luminary has a lot of crazy utility in the kit. Like you have so much utility and boon output, and you have insane like value, even if you play a support variant. I think they will maybe tune it down a bit so that you get not like insane stacks of might or fury for just pressing like 2 buttons. That might change, stuff like that. I'm not sure. Maybe they say that's completely fine. That's how new support looks like. But I feel like that might be something that could be relevant. But I was talking mostly about competitive modes. I think Luminary is the best support in competitive modes right now. So I think that will get nerfed. Hopefully there at least a little bit so that we have a little bit more variance other than Visions of Eternity supports. That is my hope at least. Conduit is only strong in PvP. In World vs. World, Evoker is the king? Yeah, absolutely. But I think that's why I say the new specs, you will always find a place for a new spec to shine. Yes, it might not be Conduit in all game modes, that is true. But I think you should have also, like for example, Holosmith should still shine. But right now it's just Amalgam or Conduit or Evoker. It's just the new specs all together. That's why I think I hopefully get some nerfs so that they are in line with the others. Yeah. I'm thinking of trying PvP, but 240 ping is high. I would say if you play builds that are, so to say, a little bit less reliant on having, so to say, instant cast and stuff like that, 200, 250 ping, it's playable, it's noticeable. You will have a difficult time compared to someone with a 20 ping, for sure. But I think it's better if you play, for example, a warrior, or if you play a guardian or stuff like that, that is more forgiving than playing a thief or mesmer or something like that with a lot of instant casts. But you can try, you know. Maybe if you just want to have fun, and then it will work. If you want to get top rank 1, maybe it will be a little bit more challenging, but it can still be done, of course. I think Amalgam might be like somewhat fine. Amalgam is like right now, I think has a 47k benchmark in PvE as a Condi, what's it called, Alacrity Amalgam. So I think that might get nerfed. But I think overall, a lot of the situations, Amalgam seems to be okay. Yeah, I think Amalgam is more a competitive mode problem than it is a PvE problem. Yeah. I think Gale Shot might even get a buff. I might be very, like, in PvE at least. Gale Shot might get a buff in PvE because one of the traits, I can show you that later, is just quite bad. And I think it would make, for example, a low intensity Gale Shot like insanely good. Right now, it's okay, but it's not insanely good. But I feel like one of the traits is made for low intensity Gale Shot. And it's just for no reason it's bad. And that's why I hope they will buff it. But I have to be honest, I fear that the balance patch that comes on Tuesday, with the balance patch in January being somewhat on the horizon already, that it will just be a numbers tuning. That they say, okay, we have overperforming specs like Evoker, Conduit, Ritualist, and all the ones that I mentioned earlier. We will just tune down the numbers. We will not change any functional things or any reworks even. I think that might be happening. I'm not sure, I hope not, but it could be enough. Yeah. And that could be what they are thinking. We will see. I personally think, no, a warrior is more forgiving because it's more tanky. I did not say you will have an easy time with warrior in general. I think high ping will always be a problem. It doesn't matter what kind of build you play. Just wanted to mention that here. If you have high ping in PvP, you will always have more problems than if you don't have high ping. But it's better than Thief, 100%. I feel like Gale Shot with Alacrity to give Ranger Alacrity PS would have been better. I'm not sure if they will ever do that, because right now it seems like that they wanted to make the roleplay aspect of a Gale Shot being like the, I don't know, the guy of the winds, yeah, be more relevant than anything else. So they decided to go for quickness, because that's what's fitting with a swiftness, fast-moving, evasive guy, instead of having something that is focused around like Alacrity, which is more of a defensive boon oftentimes. So that's what they went for. I'm not sure if that's like, if that's still debatable on the table, if they want to change that, or if that's just something they will never address again. I was also expecting Alacrity on Gale Shot before they revealed it. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, I think Gale Shot might get a buff with like some numbers, in PvE at least. I think in competitive modes, Gale Shot is actually quite good. I think people underestimate how good Gale Shot is. It's really, really good. You just have to learn to play it, because it's not easy. But if you know how to play it, it's actually quite good. But I personally think like that it's quite likely to me that they will buff Gale Shot, Paragon, and Troubadour damage. I expect it, I hope so, because they are designed in a way to be power DPS, and they are just not living up to that for the most part. So I really think they will buff those, but who knows? Who knows? I have no clue. Yeah. Yeah, I think someone is like playing this. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Do you feel there are enough things for the upcoming expansion to be a decisive for the game, like introducing new elite specs? I would say this expansion is good for now because of the new specs. Thanks a lot, Snowdrop. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for the resub. 9 months. Very good. Yeah, exactly. Wayfinder, exactly. That's what it needs to be called. Thanks a lot for the support. Really appreciate it. And the long-term viewership. But yeah, I think right now, for me, the expansion is worth it because of the expansion, the new elite specs and stuff like that. Yes, the new maps, the relics and stuff are good, but I think mostly I play only the elite specs right now, not the new maps anymore. So I think for me it's worth it already, but I have to wait until my final judgment, until I get, for example, the quick play features, until I get the raids, until I get the final maps and legendaries and stuff like that. Because right now it seems like, for me, the expansion is 90% elite specs, and that's it. So if you are someone that actually is interested in a single class and you like Chronomancer and you will play Chronomancer all the time, then the new expansion might be somewhat of a boring expansion because you get not that much. You get 2 maps and a bit of story. That's it. So I can understand that, but I personally think I will wait with my final judgment until I see everything. Yeah, that is. Do we need CC? Yeah, let's take some CC. Better safe than sorry, I guess. I think Spectre is quite good already. If the overperforming specs are tuned down, I think Spectre is in a very good spot. Spectre is very good as a support. Spectre is very good as a Condi DPS in PvE, and in competitive modes, it's already like good job. It plays a support and a hybrid role in PvP. I think that works. Why people cannot do a ready check? I don't know. I think that's too hard for them. Very sad. Nice, we got some CC. Hopefully we get the break bar. Nice, we did it. So now secret tech here. Secret tech. You can get the special action key here. I just learned it a while ago. By hitting those wisps here, it's so crazy. Like that's the craziest tech ever. The wisps give you the special action key if you bring them below 75%, and you just have to hit them, and then you will get this once per fight to your allies as well. So you can get the special action key all the time. You don't have to kill the wisp, you just have to bring them to 75%. If you do that consistently with only 1 wisp, and you can just get that over and over. You can get the bone skimmer out, like kill it in seconds. It's really crazy. Crazy tech. Thanks to Tipcut, I know that now. It's really, really good. Like insanely cool like theory crafting there. That's what you can do as a support or someone with a ranged weapon. Really, really good. The nerfs are coming on the 9th. We don't know the nerfs yet, so they will come out on the 9th as well. With the balance notes and stuff, we will know on the 9th. Yeah, sadly, not before then. That's how it goes. They will not tell us before that. Should we play Fractals as an Alacrity? That will be exciting. I have to concentrate quite a lot for Fractals. Let's see. I wonder what combat options we will see in the future expansion. Maybe variant weapon skills. They already have tech for it, for Untamed Hammer with Weapon Master. That would be interesting. I would really like to see that. I'm not sure though. The problem is I have no clue how much resources they can put in new combat options, specifically for new expansions. Guild Wars 2 has not announced yet if there will be another expansion and when it will happen, you know? So I'm not sure how big it will be. Maybe it will be a year from now. Maybe it will be 2 years from now. Who knows? Maybe there will be not any new one. Maybe they will say that was the last one. Who knows? Who knows? We will have to see. Very interesting future ahead. And hopefully we get a big roadmap coming soon. And that hopefully reveals something about what is going on. I really hope so. Yeah. Update 1 and 3 will make or break the expansion overall. The rest is filler. Yeah, I agree. I think the updates is always, you saw that with Soto and like Chantia Wilds. If the expansion, the release is good, that doesn't mean anything because that was the case for Soto and Chantia Wilds. And it was more about the following updates, if they actually consistently continue bringing content or if they just add like a little bit of filler stuff and that's it. I really hope that we get content because of the new change with the first update not having any new content other than a raid. Then that the second and third update are actually big. But who knows? Who knows? Yeah. Long time YouTube follower, first time catching you live. Appreciate all the help in getting me into the game over the last year. Always happy to hear that, Cole. Always happy to hear that. If you have any questions, goes for everybody here in stream, just let me know. So, I want to get some other stuff done. What can we do? Should we do another round? No, I don't want to play DPS, to be honest. I want to do some fractals. Maybe I can do some fractals. Should we do 100 cm? I'm not sure if I really like to do 100 cm. That seems to be on like with puck groups, 100 cm dangerous sometimes. But the new power level is actually quite high. Maybe we should do it just to test if the power level of the new specs is actually as good as Chronomancer, for example. Maybe I have to see it. Yeah, I think my streams are always like, I try to play the game and have fun, but oftentimes it ends up like it's just a questions and answers, which is really good because I feel like that is what the game needs. I think a lot of content creators are like really good at playing the game or are just fun to talk to, but a lot of times there is not a real person that you can ask questions all the time because a lot of new players just want to get some easy question answered. And oftentimes they will just either not have anybody that interacts with chat, or if they ask in the big, so to say, content creator streams, they will just get flooded with other questions, so they might not even answer their questions. So I really try to answer all the questions. That's why hopefully you will enjoy my stream. Yeah. I have the base game, Heart of Thorns. What are the best gold farms for me? I would say typically I would recommend doing, for example, Octovine in Auric Basin and stuff like that, Chuck Garant. Those are not crazy good gold farms, but they still work. Yeah, you can still do them. And other than that, I would say Path of Fire doesn't really have that good gold farms. You can do Dragonfall if you have Living World Season 4. Yeah, Dragonfall is one of the all-time good working gold farms that can work very well. So Dragonfall, Living World Season 4 here, that can be good. I would say there are still quite a lot of decent gold farms that are not requiring you the new expansions. But I would say Dragonfall, Auric Basin, in general, like meta trains, those seem to be the top choices there. Yeah. But of course, you can also do like trading post stuff if you like that. That always works. But it's always a little bit dependent on what you like. I cannot recommend a specific gold farm to you because I personally think it's always like some people hate farming in the open world. Some people like to play instances. Fractals are perfect for that. But some people hate instances and want to go in the open world. Yeah, then probably just do meta events. Yeah, that's very important. If you have all the expansions, you can watch my YouTube video. !gold in the Twitch chat and you see it there. Yeah. But mirrors are still a good gold farm. Fractals are always a good gold farm. There are so many options how you can get gold in Guild Wars 2. You should find a way that you actually enjoy so that you can continuously do it and will not run out of interesting things to do, because if you just farm always the best thing over and over and it bores you, you might burn out. That is quite realistic. I did yesterday normal 100 with a random. We decided to format it with my guild and melted the boss easily. Yeah, 100 CM and 100 normal mode are very, very easy in terms of like, if you have people that actually deal damage, if you have people that do the mechanics, especially in challenge mode, you need to do the mechanics, then it's very easy. But if you have someone that doesn't know the mechanics, if someone doesn't deal enough damage, then 100 can be a pain. 100 is more like a strike mission than it is like a fractal, because it is way more mechanically heavy and the execution is way more important than having like just a good build or something. That will not carry you enough by not understanding your build and stuff like that. It's really weird. For example, Nightmare CM is quite punishing, but it is very well telegraphed, and if you avoid the attacks, you will win. Yeah, it might take longer, but you will win. In 100 CM, you have not really well telegraphed attacks, or somewhat well telegraphed attacks, I guess. But it doesn't matter if you avoid them or not. It's way more important that you collect the globs and stuff like that. If you do the globs correctly, you will win the fight. If you don't do it correctly, you will lose. It doesn't matter if you have the best healing and best damage. If you don't do the mechanic correctly, you will probably not be able to succeed. And that's really weird. That's more like a strike raid mission fight or something like that. It's not really a fractal typically. Somewhat weird, yeah. I've noticed that a lot of people answer questions in game, no problem. Just shout in a city and somebody will DM you. Yeah, absolutely. If you're a new player and you want to get an answer quickly, asking in map chat is always a good option. Good point there, yeah. I've just been making Orient legendaries and selling them because I have so many clovers from PvP at World vs. World. Yeah, I mean, that's a good way of getting gold as well. Sure, absolutely. If you don't need the clovers yourself, selling the Orient legendaries is a good way of earning gold. Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. I'm from Germany, yes, that's correct, Felix. Yes. I hate the new fractals, Kinfall, Silent Surf, Lonely Tower. Yeah, they have a lot of a lot of health. That is definitely something that I notice as well and that I don't like. I'm with you there 100%. I personally, the problem is that if a fight is rewarding and takes 10 minutes, I think it's okay if the fight is entertaining at the same time. You know, if you have like, I don't know, a fight in Fractals that takes 10 minutes and the fight is really rewarding and gives you multiple phases that change the fight, then it's okay. It might not be perfect, but it's okay. But if you have a fight, like Silent Surf specifically, it takes like 7 minutes or something, and it is 7 minutes of the same thing. There is not a single thing that changes. It's exactly the same. That is painful. I think that's such a big sponge of HP pool that it's just not like fun anymore, you know? I think having a interesting fight is not always a fight that takes forever. I think a fight, 5 minutes fight that is like challenging to some extent is way more intriguing for me than having a fight that takes 10 minutes and is a little bit easier. I would never play that. I would rather go for something. That's why I'm doing Ice Root Saga strike missions all the time, because they are in 30 seconds to, I don't know, 3 minutes of a fight and back out. In Fractals, it's more like 5 minutes typically a fractal, but the newer fractals, especially like Silent Surf and Lonely Tower not so much, but Silent Surf mostly, is insane. It's just 7 minutes of the same thing without any interesting mechanics. It's just like 7 minutes of hitting the boss and looking away or moving out of the stack. That's it. And I think that is not fun. I really hope we will get some more things in the future. I really hope so. Yeah, I mean, let's go in. Let's do it. Who knows? I will play some healing. No, not this one. A lot of health should be the tagline for every new expansion. It would be funny. Very interesting. Yeah, I feel like Fractals need some kind of, not rework, but revisit to tune rewards to the length of the fractals, while also tuning rewards in a way that you actually have some things that are, so to say, if the HP pool is too high, you tune it down a bit, maybe decrease the rewards a bit, but normal fractals should take 5 minutes. You should not have a normal mode fractal that takes 10 minutes. That's just not good. Yeah. At what point would you say is a good point to go from T4 fractals to CMs? If you feel like confident enough to actually clear all Tier 4 fractals and know all the mechanics. Challenge modes are not a big problem. It's challenge modes in Guild Wars 2 are more about your confidence level and having players that also have a same understanding of the fight. Challenge modes, especially like 96, 95, 97, they are more about understanding the fights than it's about, so to say, being a like crazy good fractal player. Yeah. So I personally would say, I don't know. I feel like personally, as soon as you can. That is probably the answer that I would give you. As soon as you can provide value to your team and you understand the fights, get into challenge modes, they will be more interesting. Yeah. Yeah, on Tuesday. The patch will happen on Tuesday. Patch time on Tuesday. I was told people put up Party Finder for homestead farming attempts. Which category do people put that in? So you put that typically in Central Tier and Parties. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where you put it. I don't use it that much, but I think that's where you put it. Central Tier Parties is homestead farm. Because you can only go in as a party, that makes sense to put it here. Okay. Can I provide some pre-buffing here? Let's go. Let's see how it goes. I have no clue. I have never played Paragon in like CM Fractals, so we will see. Hopefully I will not grief my group. We will see. Might some alacrity. Nah. It's interesting that I get the target mechanic and I get the pull away mechanic, which is a weird thing, but okay. It should be fine here. Should be fine. Power creep for the win here. So in the challenge mode here later I need to collect all the globules and I need to have a lot of CC. So what is the best CC skill that I can bring here that CCs like crazy? It's not more because that's on Mesmer, but it would be so good if I had elite CC, but I think we don't have that here. It's a little bit of a problem, but that's okay. The funny thing is you can even ignore some mechanics with Paragon. I saw some really crazy kills with Paragon as a healer or as a DPS as well, because you can like ignore so many mechanics in Fractals with the we will never yield, I think it's called, the elite skill. So that is quite cool, to be honest, because you can ignore mechanics that would normally one-shot you because it cannot kill you. So that would mean that you will just not go down anymore. And we will have to see if I can pull that off as well. I'm obviously, like I said, I played this for the first time here in Fractals, but will be hopefully still be able to get done. At least the Fractals. I'm not sure if I can pull off the skip with like not dying, but we will see. I'm actually working on that right now, Philip. I'm actually working on videos coming at the end of the year, maybe next year, starting about going in depth for a specific profession and talking about how to play this profession and making a long video, like half an hour, maybe an hour, where I talk about every single thing that there is to know about how this works. Yeah, specific parts about how does warrior work, how does guardian work, and going really in depth here. That is not something that will be done very fast, so it will take time until I get that out, but I'm working on it. It's a really interesting topic. Not a lot of content creators do that or have that at least somewhat up to date, so I will put that out at some point, yeah. Working on it, yes. Imagine if Fractals were the 4 stages per run back then and you get all the HP sponge ones. Yeah, that's horrible. Like, at least now it's like you have guaranteed one of the long ones, or oftentimes one of the long ones, and 2 shorter ones. It's very rarely the case that you have 2 challenge modes. It happens sometimes nowadays, but it's not always, not often. And I personally, the thing is, if they add another challenge mode with this expansion, which they will do, we have a lot of challenge modes plus the normal modes that you will do for T4 run that will go up to, for some groups, to 2 hours for the full run. That's quite a lot. If they add another challenge mode after this, you have a lot of Fractals to do per day. So I'm not completely sure if they will leave it like that or if they will maybe change it so that you get challenge mode gets increased rewards, but you will not always get all of them. I don't know. It will be interesting. It will be interesting future. Fractals need a revisit and an expansion with an infinitely scaling T5 system. Oh yes, that would be content. I really wanted to make a video about this, but seeing how my discussion videos perform and seeing what kind of comments they get, I'm a little bit scared to make a video about infinitely scaling Fractals, because a lot of people would hate me for bringing it up and saying I'm such an elitist for bringing a topic like that. But I think that would be really fun to me personally, and apparently to Snowdrop as well. I don't know. I think it would be interesting. I would like that, but I think I'm not sure if Guild Wars 2 as a casual game to some extent would actually be the right game for that. I really don't know. Yeah, I could. Yeah, good point. I take Rampage. I guess that's good point. Good catch. Yes, Rampage. That's it. Yeah, I will take Stability, Martial Cadence. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Yeah. I always wondered how they make Silent Surf and said, yeah, that's a good boss fight. I was also like, it's crazy. It's insane to me that the designer of the Silent Surf was like, in the normal mode, let's make the normal mode annoying with all the puzzle mechanics and almost no combat in the beginning, and then having a spongy boss fight. And in challenge mode, let's remove the puzzle mechanic, but make the boss even more HP spongy, and it just takes forever. It's insane to me that they did that. But I mean, I guess they said that's okay, and they shipped it. Yeah, how it goes. Started a week ago, and I couldn't find anything about how builds worked and felt. Everyone just has meta builds with best in slot gear. I will always try in my build guides to explain how a build works, and I always also link an exotic version, so you don't really need to have best in slot gear. Exotic is fine and you can buy that from the trading post. You know, buying from the trading post, like Berserker gear or something, I don't know, cost you maybe 10 gold if you maximum. It's not that bad. And then you can have, so to say, a best in slot build and have fun. Yeah, that's why I always link that and mention it. Yeah. I'm a returning player and want to buy the newest expansion since yesterday, but it's not loading. Is something down right now? There was, yesterday I heard there was a problem with Cloudflare, which is like a very important thing for websites typically, so maybe that might be the problem, but I have no clue. Maybe there is another problem with the Guild Wars 2 website. I had not visited it yet, because obviously I didn't buy it yet. But, okay, so I guess we are ready. Now I have to concentrate a bit, obviously. Because I'm not the best Paragon player yet. And especially in Fractals, I have not played it that often. So, I need to collect blue and green probably. Is it Condi Paragon? The Condi Harbinger? No one said something. That's fine. I guess I will just collect the green ones as well. So let me, I will answer all the questions later. Just let me, this fractal specifically is like quite important that I actually concentrate a bit and don't like completely like how is it called, autopilot, because it's really like about understanding the boss fight, doing the mechanics, collecting the orbs most importantly for me here. So I guess they're not collecting greens. It's a little bit sad, to be honest. Is it a power one? No, it's a Condi one, so they can actually collect it. They can collect it. That's mean. They should collect it. Then I can have the more CC thing. It's fine either way. It's fine. If we have someone that does the gluttony mechanic, that's the only important thing. So if you have not seen this fight in challenge mode, gluttony mechanic is like carrying this fight. Like you have to collect the gluttony orbs, and those gluttony orbs will give you insane amount of lifesteal damage, and this will proc with every single attack, and that's why you take typically a Willbender, and the Willbender completely destroys the boss. You will see that in a second. You will have insane amount of like raw numbers. They will sadly not see that in arc DPS, but it's a very, very good thing. Let's see, let's go Rampage. Consumed. That's not good. I think I should just like ride the green guy to collect the green stuff, to be honest. Where is it? Yeah, they're collecting. Okay, that's good. That's good. Very good. Because, you know, if you have a Condi DPS, the Condi DPS should collect the green orbs, because they will get more Condi DPS from that. It's just if you have no Condi DPS that this is not the way to do it. Nice, you get CC. And CC. Don't have more CC, sadly. Should have brought another utility skill, to be honest. But my team is carrying the CC, that's good. After all, like I said, this is my first time doing this fight with this specific build. I'm more like of a support Chronomancer enjoyer. But this is like looking quite good. I mean, we have a decent group. Hopefully, the last phase is always the important one. It's not the thing before. It's always the last phase. Everything else does not matter. It's the last phase. Okay, you have the split phase. You have some stability here. And some more out here, more stability. Okay. Close the orb, the rift. Okay. See. Okay, I'm not sure why they went there, but okay, it's fine. Need some stability. There we go. Close the rift. Close it. Okay, that was somewhat close. Okay, there we go. That is good. How many orbs are left on the Willbender? 12, very good. I mean, that's looking good, looking good. Let's just see a bit more, I guess. Some stability. I think we are fine. I mean, was actually quite a smooth kill, to be honest. I mean, you always see if they have some orbs, but not too many, the boss. So it's actually quite a clean 100 CM. I have not expected that for like a rather low KP group. Very good. Maybe it was just my superior supporting here. Probably not, but maybe. Who knows? Good job. Quite clean. Quite clean. If you think 99 takes long, your group DPS is bad. Bad groups hate 99. Same with 100, but 100 has time gates, which is the problem. I think the problem is, like, I agree that 100 is annoying, but I think 99 is also annoying. Yeah. I personally think, like, 99, even with a good DPS, like really good DPS, like you have like pumping evokers or something like that, I still think that 99 is boring. It's like, maybe it doesn't take that long, but it feels very sluggish because it's just the same thing over and over. There is no interesting mechanics. It's always the same boss, spreading, looking away. That's it. And I think that's boring. That is boring. Yeah. Also 100 CM is just cancer without Willbender and takes even longer. Yeah, I think that the thing is, what I don't like about 100 CM is that it forces you to play a build like Willbender. I like that there is a really cool concept and you have some theory crafting to make this fractal really fast. I think that is really cool. The problem that I have with it is that it forces you to play this. If you don't play it, it doubles the time that you fight the boss and maybe even will not be able to kill it. And I feel like there should be a middle ground, having interesting builds that work in a fractal, but not forcing you to play the build to make it succeed. There should be a middle ground. There really should. I really like the Gluttony Willbender, don't get me wrong. I think it's one of my favorite builds because it's such a cool theory crafting. But forcing you to play that to succeed, or at least something that is very similar to it, is, for me, not the right way. Yeah. At least for me, yeah. There will be a nerf coming with the 9th of December balance patch. So in 3 days, there will be a nerf coming. And this nerf hopefully nerfs all divisions of Eternity specs that are overperforming in all game modes. So hopefully some buffs to the underperforming ones as well. That would be my big hope, yeah. I really love the game and would want to enjoy the Guardian, tried Luminary, but it just feels my DPS is not there. Mostly playing Mechanist at the moment, but it feels like so brain dead. Is there a good middle ground class to get used to rotations? I think Necromancer might be a good middle ground class. It's not as easy as is Mechanist, but it's a little bit less spammy than Guardian oftentimes. So I think Necromancer might be a good middle ground, but I feel like the thing is, if you get to the highest benchmark numbers, you always have to understand that it will not happen and you start a class and you will have the benchmark. You will have to slowly improve, you know, go to the golem, train a bit, try it in real fights, train on the golem again, and you slowly get better. It's not something that I would recommend a new player to expect going into a fight and saying, yeah, I play the top best in slot class, I will be top DPS. That's not how it works. At least not in Guild Wars 2. So just be patient, choose the class that you like the look of, and you will probably be fine. I think Necromancer, for me personally, is a good middle ground. I think like the most interesting challenge modes for me are Nightmare and Shattered Observatory. Those are interesting because they have multiple bosses, interesting fights, rather short fights. It's just a more interesting. I don't know. I think it's more interesting. So, I need a lot of stability here. Stability. Can do some nice pre-stacking here. Nice, nice, nice. It's not as good as with Chronomancer, but it's a good pre-stack nonetheless. We have decent alacrity, which is good. So, give some stability here. Gives some more stability. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I like it. Paragon, maybe that's the new build that I play in Fractals. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like for me, that's just like it's my personal opinion. You know, it's like everyone has different opinions, and I think that's completely fine. You asked me what is my, so to say, my fractal that I would like to play. That is the one. I would play 96 and 97. They are more interesting to me than 99 at least. Yeah, I think personally 100 CM is actually one of my more favorite fractals in CMs. I think it's way more interesting than, for example, 99 CM. I think that is by far the worst for me, 99 CM, by far. I normally watch YouTube builds and fail and go like, what am I doing wrong? So good point. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you should be expecting some kind of learning curve. Yes, there might be some builds that are way more challenging than others. Absolutely, you're right there. But personally, I would say having the expectation of like slowly getting there, slowly getting better is definitely helping you getting like the right assumptions for a build. Nice that this is now a stun break. That's so good, also for your allies. That's actually one of the very rare things that is really, really, really good. Having a stun break for allies, it's crazy. It's really nice. Really, really good. I like it. There is not a post yet. We will have to wait until Tuesday typically. Typically they post it with the balance patch. Yeah, so it will be happening. It will be happening like probably 6 o'clock my time, something like that. Maybe a little bit earlier, maybe 5 o'clock my time, so it will be when they normally launch patches. That's when you get the balance notes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that is another completely crazy video topic where I wanted to make a video about this and talk about fractals and raids specifically, that a lot of times the new feature and power creep made it so that, let's say, 70% of the mechanics are ignored. Specifically in strike missions and fractals, they are like over 80% of the mechanics are ignored. You just ignore mechanics and brute force them with boons, heals, and reflects and other utilities. And I think that is not healthy for the game. I think you should have a little bit of that, so that a little bit of your mechanics can be negated, can be played around, and can be interesting, but you should also deal with some of the mechanics. I don't like the Bone Skinner example, for example, where you have a mechanic in the fight that is very interesting, and no one, literally no one ever did this mechanic, because you just brute force it with raw healing output. I personally like Bone Skinner a lot. I think it's one of the coolest bosses from the strike missions because it's fast-paced, it's a nice boss, it has some punishing attacks, but I think having a mechanic in there that is like completely ignored and you just brute force it is not a healthy design. It is not. Maybe that's a hot take, but I feel like that's definitely noticeable in a lot of the fights right now. Yeah. So if you're more of a visual learner than by reading, it's hard to find good sources. Yeah, I mean, if you're more of a visual learner, I would recommend checking out my YouTube channel. I have a lot of content there regarding this specific build guides and stuff like that. And if you like to read stuff, then going, for example, for Snow Crows is probably the best bet that you can get. No, it's me. I mean, the pre-stack is actually quite good, I have to be honest. Like having like 20 seconds of Alacrity pre-stack, that's good. Yeah, I like it. I mean, the only thing that I don't have is like Reflect. That's a little bit, I can have some Deflect, but I cannot have some Reflect. So it's a little bit annoying, but there is always someone that has a little bit of Reflect, come on. In the party at least, that's what I mean. Oh, miss, that's mean. It's a little bit sad. I want to have the big bonk here, but it's always only the small bonk. That's fine. So Guild Wars 2 has fractals, raids, and strike missions as endgame content? Absolutely. That's at least for PvE, that is what you have. But they will merge strike missions and raids with the upcoming patch in February. They will change that to being one thing. So we will have to see how it works. We have no more information than that will be the case. So we will have to see. But interesting times ahead. And yes, for now, raids and fractals and strike missions, this is the end game typically for PvE. But of course, you can also play open world and stuff like that. But for instances, it's like, and there are convergences. Don't forget convergences. There's like 50-person squads, so it's like a big raid in that regard. More like an instance open world event, a little bit more. Something like a middle ground there. Yeah. Can we get the rest here? Very good. I would have rallied anyway. That's okay. Not good. We lost someone. Can we get the rest here in time? Yep, there we go. I'm not sure they are like... It looks like they are lagging a bit, to be honest. No, it's me. We will get the kill in time. We will get the kill in time. Trust. Very good. Yeah, fashion is of course the real end game. Good point. Have you ever made a tier list on what is the best mastery? I think that would be a rather boring tier list, because there would be an S tier and there would be somewhat of like a D tier. It's like Guild Wars 2 masteries were really good at the beginning, and then they like are not good anymore. Like the best mastery is auto loot, is gliding, and is mounts. Yeah, and everything else is just not good. Like everything else is or not crazy good. It feels like a lot of the masteries are just like giving you more loot, giving you access to maps, but it's not really interesting. It's way more interesting if you had, for example, masteries that change gameplay like gliding did, like the mounts did. Stuff like that is awesome. However, that's not what we get nowadays. It's more like the mirror mastery, where you have like a mirror and you get loot from that. That's it. That's like, okay, that is the mastery. Is that really worth getting? Is that really the thing that is like selling the expansion to you? I doubt it. I think masteries nowadays are just like they are there because we expect them to be there, but they are not like really, really good anymore. I think, to be honest, I made that claim in my review of the first like release of the expansion. And I said having filler masteries like the mirror mastery and stuff like that, I think it would be better to not have any mastery at all. Like, to be honest, I think it would have been, the time should be better spent on something that is more interesting than like boring masteries. Yeah. I think the skimmer mastery is good, but the rest of the new masteries are just like, I would have cut them, to be honest. I would have cut them. So I will catch up in chat in a second. Just let me finish the boss here without killing my party. You know, I did this mistake before, like reading chats while in Fractals, and then like my poor party died or I died. So better keeping your eyes on your monitor and not watching the... Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. In the future, will you create videos about the future of Guild Wars 2? Absolutely. I will do a lot of videos like that because I covered a lot of like build guides in the last few weeks. So I will go way more about like debates, tier lists and stuff like that, because that's something that I really like to talk about the game. Build guides are nice and all, but at some point you covered most of the important builds. So I will definitely go back to that, yes, and make debates and discussions about that. Oh, I could have used that. That's why what I wanted to do. I wanted to use my thing to ignore the mechanic. It's fine. Can we get the heal? Is luminary radius bugged? Yes. It says 600, but it's actually only 300. So I'm not sure if the intended radius is 600 or 300. We will see. That is something that I hope they will fix. I really hope they will fix that specifically with the upcoming balance patch as well. Stuff like that. But I personally think that 300 seems more reasonable. 600 is insane. Not a lot of classes have 600 boon sharing radius. That's a lot. that makes it so that you can like stand on the other side of the room most of the time and share the boons. It's really good. We'll have to see. Yes, it's on the 9th of December, the nerf update. Why aren't the game expanding masteries like Heart of Thorns and Path of Fire anymore? What is stopping them? I think it's stopping from creating new masteries or expanding the masteries that are already there is that they bind masteries to expansions. So if you sell a new expansion, you want to have masteries for people that actually have the expansion and not the old expansion. So if you buy Visions of Eternity, you don't want to expand the mastery of Path of Fire or Heart of Thorns, because that will be in the end possibly something that people will not have. So it's like, what does that even, like, how does that work for those people? Yeah, so that's why I would say it's a little bit challenging, and that's why they will probably never expand any of that. At least that's my understanding here. I have not been playing Guild Wars 1 yet. I have not. Oops, that's not what I wanted. If you are too PvP focused and always you know, if you do PvP, you always weapon swap to get a more like, how is it called? Get more movement out of your movement skill. Then you do the stuff like that all the time. That's funny, you know, it's just in my brain, in my muscle memory. If I play support, I always weapon swap to move faster. How did... Oh, it's just illusion. Okay, I was wondering, how did that get CC'd if I have like stability, like crazy sharing stability? What's your thought about which new elite spec are most resistance to damage nerfs? Like mechanics are fun and good regardless from the number? So that might be a very hot take, but I think, for example, Ritualist should get very low damage numbers. Yeah. So I think Ritualist for me is somewhat resistant to nerfs because it will always be an easy class. It will always be having godlike utility, to be honest, while also providing you with a second health pool. You know, having a second health pool is like only Reaper has that, and Reaper cannot support. So it's like the first support on a Necromancer spec that actually has a second health pool that makes you insanely valuable. So I think Ritualist should get the damage numbers nerfed like crazy, and it's still very, very good. So that's the first one. I think Evoker is another one. If they don't change specialized elements straight like crazy, I think it's very unlikely that you will not have a very easy to play spammy quick DPS build or something like that. That is just like the numbers have to be so low to actually not make that worth playing anymore. I would be very, very surprised, like insanely surprised there. I don't know. Stuff like that. I think Luminary is the same. Luminary doesn't have crazy numbers necessarily to be good. You can play a Luminary because you have crazy utility in your kit. So those three are very, very high. I think Antiquary, I think Conduit, if they get damage nerfs, they are not as interesting anymore because they don't have that much utility and uniqueness to them. But for example, Gale Shot could have a crazy good burst. If they would give it a bit more damage back, like they had in the beta event, then I see like Gale Shot being a top tier DPS. Yeah, but right now it feels like just overclassed by a lot of other specs because it's just a little bit weak. Maybe I can get the cap here because I'm like, Nah, I don't think I can get the cap here. Can try at least. Okay, now we have someone coming. That's good because, you know, I'm a healer. I cannot kill this guy alone. There we go. Good job. I have a feeling Ritualists will be nerfed, so they can't have Perma Shroud. That might be a nerf that will be coming, yeah. I'm not completely sure. Like I said, it could be that this balance patch is only about changing numbers and not reworking how trades work, reworking how even profession mechanics and utility skills work. But if it's changing only numbers, then I think Ritualist will stay very good. If it's changing how the Shroud mechanics works and the training, then maybe you will see Ritualist being not as often played anymore, because that's something that makes it very easy and very forgiving. If that's not the case anymore and you have no Shroud at all anymore to get that damage output, then I don't know. I feel like that's for me seems to be, I don't know, one of those things will happen. We will have to see. I'm really surprised, or I'm like, I will be surprised about the changes either way. Whatever they do, I will be very surprised about it. So let's provide wounds, priest deck. I really like the priest deck on Paragon. I have to be honest. It's like nice. We have the even a portal there. Crazy. Some nice CC. I also really like to have a Bladestone in the party. I think Bladestone is like in challenge modes, it's such a good one. Like it's so good. It's such a good thing. It has a lot of CC, it has a lot of nice burst. I really like Bladestones. It's not a lot of people play it. That's the main problem. But if people actually know how to play it, it's such a good one. It is really amazing. Such a good DPS pick for Fractals. It's the only elemental elite I can play. Yeah, exactly. It's easy to play, and therefore I really hope they will not nerf it like crazy. I really hope they will not nerf it that much, because I think it's a fan favorite having a specialized elementalist. I think that is what a lot of people like. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a Mesmer build that can be tanky as Necro or Guardian for soloing up world? Yes. It is called... It's called my Solo Condi Chronomancer, which is really, really tanky. Really, really good damage output as well. That's a really good one. Yeah. You can type !builds in the Twitch chat, or just scroll down in the description of my YouTube stream as well if you're on YouTube. And just check out my spreadsheet there. You will find it there on the solo builds for Mesmer, the Chronomancer, Condition Chronomancer one. That's the really, really good one. Yes, thanks for Patricia for always answering the question. Yes, the patch will be happening on Tuesday. I will cover it on my YouTube channel. Hopefully it will be a good patch and I will not be negatively surprised like I was with the last one. The last one was really catching me a little bit off guard, I have to be honest. So hopefully it will be a good one this time. Yeah, I'm always happy to help. And I mean, of course, if I did the fractal like 100 times already, then I can also do some analysis while I'm talking about it. Yes. Yeah, it's way more dangerous than driving. I'm not sure if texting while driving is not a good thing. I would never recommend it. Reading chat while doing fractals is not as problematic for your environment or yourself. So I would probably say better read chat while doing fractals than reading chat while driving a car. But yes, I mean, sometimes I failed my group as well. So I will try to find a middle ground while reading chat decently often, while also hopefully getting like a decent kill with my group as well. Yeah. Just joined the stream. What do you mean by before the nerfs? So there will be a nerf coming on the 9th of December. So in 3 days, I would say. Yeah. So Tuesday this week, or next week, whatever you want to call it, in 3 days, there will be a patch that is supposed to nerf Divisions of Eternity specs to hopefully a level where they are comparable again to all the old elite specs. That is my hope, and that is the confirmation. We know there will be a patch. We just don't know what the patch will contain. So we will have to see what exactly is in there. But we know it will nerf some stuff. And hopefully it will buff some underused stuff. I think that is also something that not a lot of people talk about. But I really think, for example, Gale Shot DPS is supposed to be higher in real situations. And I really hope they will actually address that. And especially as someone that enjoys low intensity builds as well, I think a low intensity Gale Shot can be very, very good as well if they just buff the numbers of one of the traits. So I really hope they will buff that as well. We will see if that's the case or if they just ignore it and just nerf some numbers down. that are overperforming. Maybe can happen as well. Who knows? But for now, I have hopes. Yeah. What's the easiest new elite spec to play? I mean, it depends what you define as easy. Yeah. If you define as easy, I don't have to follow a strict rotation. Then I would say Evoker can be very easy because you only have like 6 buttons to press. If you define as easy, you only want to press a single button, then I would say Antiquary can be very easy. I would say like Paragon can be very easy. I have low intensity builds about those. It depends a bit what kind of easy you're looking for. You know, some people don't want a rotation. Some people don't want to have spammy gameplay. Some people don't want any of those two. Yeah, just let me know and I can give you a better answer there. Yeah. But I would say Guardian can be very... the thing is, like, from the new elite specs, I would say Guardian and Troubadour and Ritualist, those specs are way less prone to being very easy because, to play at least, very, very easy, like low intensity easy, because they have a profession mechanic that is like their core kit. They have a lot of new buttons that you probably should press to actually get the most value out of them. Yeah, so I would say it's very hard. I really tried to make a low intensity Troubadour build, but it's just really challenging to make that work because you have so many attacks and stuff that actually interact with each other that pressing only one button of cooldown is just not gonna work that well. Mesmer in general has that problem, but Troubadour in specific has that problem quite big time. Don't run away. No, still not. There we go. Yeah, I have low intensity builds for, I would say, all classes. I have low intensity builds for most of the new elite specs up very soon as well. It's not easy to come up with a Troubadour one. It's not easy to come, or probably not possible to come up with a Troubadour one or like a Luminary one. But I think like Paragon, Antiquary, Gale Shot, Evoker, those are like possible. Conduit, of course, as well. All Revenant specs can be played as a low intensity Condi variant. It's putting Maleks on and pressing auto attack is enough to make a low intensity Condi Revenant build work. But yeah, so more coming, but for now, those would be my picks there. I want to play Troubadour, but they have so many buttons. Yeah, exactly. Troubadour is like, it has a lot of buttons, but it also has a lot of interactions between those buttons. So you want to press your crescendo. You want to press your other F skills to get the crescendo empowered or the other way around. So it's like very challenging to make a Troubadour build that only uses auto attack and maybe one F skill. That's just like, you will like destroy 80% of your damage by doing so. And that's just not feasible for a low intensity build anymore. Because at least when I make a low intensity build, I don't want to make a low intensity build just for the sake of making a low intensity build. I also want to make a build that is actually good. You know, I want to share a build that is actually worthwhile sharing. And if you do like 10k DPS as a DPS player, that is not worthwhile sharing, in my opinion. Yeah. I just did my Obsidian Armor and finished Ad Infinitum, working on 3 Amulet. Which legendary do you think I should tackle next? I personally think going for any of the rings is possibly a good way, because there will be another ring coming with one of the future updates, or like in February there will be another ring coming, so getting another ring, why not? Yeah, but I think it heavily depends on what kind of like player you are, and some players only play a single game mode, some players play World vs. World and PvP on 9 different characters. That's completely different. So I personally would say go for the one that you actually get the most value of, because all of them are somewhat valuable. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have all of them. Exactly. Welcome, welcome. What's your thoughts about Alacrity Amalgam? It's good. It's really, really good. High damage output while being very, very like flexible. I like Alacrity Amalgam. It's really underrated. Yeah. We will see how much buffed or nerfed it gets with the next upcoming patch on Tuesday. But I think it's very, very good. Yeah, one of the best Alacrity DPS, if not the best right now. Yeah. Which builds would you suggest to get into World vs. World? Tried it a little and seemed fun, but no clue what would be a decent build. It depends a bit if you want to play alone, or if you want to play with 50 other people. If you play with 50 other people, I would recommend something like maybe Scrapper or stuff like that. If you... Oh, don't interrupt me. Oh, it was so close. And if you want to play a DPS, I would say like Amalgam is good. There are so many good ones, like from the new Elite specs. Almost any of them can be played in a Zerg. If you go for roaming, it's a little bit less like flexible. In general, just pick a class that you like, and I can tell you a build about it. On my YouTube channel, I have a lot of them covered. And if you want to have Zerg builds, I can recommend, for example, Parrish. He has really, really good guides about them, or like sharing of all the good builds that can help. But yeah, every single class has a really good build. That's like the gist of it. Just pick the class that you like. It will not be easy to get into roaming. You will get farmed in the beginning. That's just how it works. If you fight other players that are more experienced than you, it's quite likely that they will actually kill you. That's just how it works in competitive games. But if you just have fun and try to get better, that will turn out in your favor. What is the DPS threshold you're looking for in a low intensity build? I would say 30k. Like around 30k DPS, I would say then it's a decent build. Yeah. If it goes higher than that, perfect. If it stays at 30k and is very low intensity, 1-2 buttons, then it's good enough. I think anything below 30k has to have a big selling point. Yeah. So for example, my low intensity Gale shot without the buffs that might come on Tuesday, it has quite low damage in the end of like 28, 29k, but it can do so at 1200 range, which is for me a unique selling point for a low intensity build. Yes, that's not necessary in most fights, but that is a selling point that makes it worthwhile to drop a little bit of DPS, at least in some situations. Of course, it would be nice if it would have more DPS on top of that, but for now, I think that is a good selling point for this low intensity build. Yeah, Necromancer is really good for solo players, right? Good point, yeah. Yeah, pistol spamming Thief is always a good option. Unload spamming Thief is like working with every single elite spec other than Spectre on Thief. It's just really, really good. But yeah, there are so many low intensity builds at this point in the game, and some of them are insanely good, like insanely good. Like looking at, for example, like low intensity Antiquary, it's like almost 40k DPS with like spamming Unload. It's really, really good if you have like the perfect situation for it. It's crazy. It really is. So the question is, can you actually negate the one-shot here with this attack? That would be interesting. I've never tried that. But I also don't want to try it, to be honest. That would be deliberately failing the mechanic. Not sure if that's a smart thing as the healer. There we go. 4 more fractals. And the 2 nice ones. No, actually only 1 nice one. Yeah. If you're playing in a Zerg, join the guild in your time slot and run builds in their list. Exactly. Yeah, that's always helping. Absolutely. Mostly enjoy Revenant and Guardian so far. Roaming was fun, but I got wrecked. Zerg was fun too, a little more chaotic. Absolutely. In Zerg play, I would say Luminary, Firebrand are really good for supporting. For Revenant in a Zerg, I think for a support is probably like Vindicator is still a very good pick. And for DPS in a Zerg, Conduit is really, really good as a DPS right now. And for Guardian as a DPS, Dragon Hunter, even Core Guardian can work. That's for Zerging. For roaming, it's like there are 100 builds for roaming. It's like rock, paper, scissors in roaming a lot of times. So for example, you have a build that applies 100 conditions. And you have a build that has no Condi cleanse. Then that means that in roaming, this matchup will be won 100% of the times by the player that has insane amount of Condi application. Maybe you fight another player that has like infinite Condi cleanses and takes a lot of power damage, but you're fighting against the infinite applying Condi build. So that means that you will just lose straight up because the other player counters you. That's this rock, paper, scissors that I mentioned. That's why I would say in roaming, it's way less about like having a single build that is really good. It's more about understanding what kind of build might be working for you personally. Yeah. Or are they all dungeons style things here, like getting invisible? I like it. I like it. Old school dungeon consumables. Old school dungeon consumables. Like, absolutely unnecessary right now, but just using it for the old nostalgic feeling. Yeah. What do you think they will nerf on Ritualist and Luminary, PvP-wise? I mean, just probably the tankiness of both of them, I would guess. Yeah, and the utility maybe a bit. The Alacrity Heal Evoker is good. I like it. It's really underrated. If you like Evoker, that is definitely a good pick. Yeah. Definitely a good pick. I guess I will do it. There will be a nerf coming on the 9th of December. So in 3 days, there will be a balance patch with a nerf, hopefully. Is there anything that comes to the consistent ease of Mechanist? I just feel, given the range, the damage is on average higher as you have to have more. I personally think Mechanist is a very... That was weird, but yeah. I think Mechanist is a very good safe pick. And it will always be, especially Power Mechanist is a very safe pick to start out. It will never be a top DPS in a crazy tryhard group. That's just not how it works. But in a group that is like somewhat mediocre, you will be top DPS because it's just such an easy build with lots of range. It's just like there is almost no situation where a rival Mechanist is like garbage. It's never top tier, but it's so easy to play and so forgiving that I would never say don't play Mechanist. Condi Mechanist is the same. It's a little bit of a step up and it also has more damage potential. But if you understand that Mechanist is a build that can work very, very well, even in top tier play, and you just accept that you might not be top DPS in very easy fights, I mean, it's a perfect build. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Welcome, Valen. Yes, so I'm using the Blishart for that. The Blishart, and it's called in the mouse cursor add-on. You can type !mouse in the chat. Yeah, then you will see. Is no one opening that, I guess? There we go. Yeah, it's the Blishart add-on. That's way better because I use that anyway. There we go. I have a question regarding your spreadsheet. Does PvE mean raids and fractals? Yes, exactly. PvE means instance content or open world meta events where you have like multiple people. So it's focused around group play. I should maybe clarify that, yeah, but PvE means group play. Solo PvE means exactly that. You are alone. And that is the differentiation. And roaming means like you are on world versus world maps and running around alone or like with a friend, but not in a circ. A circ would be like at least 15 players. And PvX means that it's a build that is focused around being played in all game modes. So I have some builds that are focused around using one gear set in all game modes. So that a player that doesn't have full Ascended or doesn't want to swap the Ascended pieces all around all the time, or just someone that wants to have an easy time learning and understanding a build, stuff like that, that is possible with those builds that are focused around being flexible enough to be played in world versus world, PvP and PvE at the same time. This means PvX, yeah. Should probably mean that, yeah. Should probably think that. Yes, strikes and raids will be merged. I think we don't have a confirmation yet how they will be called, as far as I know. I think they will just make it so that it's one system. We don't know if it will be raids or strikes. I think it will be raids, but I think it's not 100% confirmed as far as I know. Yeah, I think they said raid encounter. Yeah, we have it here in chat. Yeah, thanks. But I think it's not like they didn't specifically say that that is the name. Yeah, so sometimes they announce it like the new feature is called quick play, and then we have the name. They didn't say the new feature is called raids. At least I can't remember it that clearly. I think raids makes a lot of sense. You know, nobody coming from other games knows what's a strike mission, but raids, you have something in your head. You know what this is roughly supposed to be. So I think that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, always happy to help. Always happy to help. Best spear class with the new elite spec. In competitive modes, I think like Amalgam is really good as a Condi build. Who is it? I can do it. Who is like Spear Evoker is really good in competitive modes. In PvE, I would say I think a lot of builds, Spear is just a very good option in PvE in general for a lot of classes. The only exception to that rule would probably be, I have to be honest, Evoker is like, or Elementalist in PvE, Spear is just not as good. It really is. That the big problem for Spear in PvE is that it just doesn't have the damage output to justify playing around with this weird etching mechanic, which is really fun, but it's just not justifying to take it oftentimes. That's the only Spear that I would say is not good with the new specs, except in competitive modes. Like I made a montage for PvP plays with like the Spear Evoker. It's awesome there, especially in push. It's crazy good, but in PvE, it's lacking. It's lacking. It can be fun, but it's lacking. I wish they just call it raid bosses. I think they will. I really think so. Do you think the quick play raids is going to be too difficult for people? No, I don't think so. I think there will be like the fractal quick play, where you can go in and you have like essentially no mechanics. There is no fail state. I think that will be the same for quick play. I think they will make quick play encounters like Veil Guardian maybe, and Merced Overseer. So mechanically quite, so to say, already somewhat easy fights, making even easier by just making all the mechanics not failable. Just straight up. You cannot fail the mechanics anymore. And I think that seems to be the way that they want to do it. And we will have to see if that works out, if they have like 10 fights in there, if they only have 3 fights in there, who knows? But I think that will be a starting point for a lot of players. Hopefully it will be the starting point to continue playing normal mode raids, even challenge mode raids and stuff like that. But there has to be some reward incentive, and that hopefully will be the ring, so that people will be interested in playing those quick play raids. But we will have to see. We have no more information yet, so we will have to see how they balance it, how they do it, what is actually in there. Hopefully we get more news soon. Yeah. Raid quick play will definitely be the easy strikes. Do you think it have any raid fights? Will be selectable role before queuing up? I'm not sure if it will have a role selection. I'm pretty sure it might not have that yet. I think they will probably release a feature that is somewhat close to the fractal one, and if that works out very well, they might make some kind of role selection feature in the future. But for now, I feel like it's unlikely that they will put in a role selection yet. Maybe in the future, but not yet, as far as I understand it. Yeah. I'm not tracking any boons. You mean the Arc DPS? Yes, that's Arc DPS and the boon table from boon table add-on. It's completely legal. It's just an extension to Arc DPS that is completely fine. I like it way more than the basic Arc DPS one. It has a better look and more straightforward. Like I can read it better. Yeah. Do you have a build for your Spear Elementalist for push? Yes, it's in the end of my montage of my PvP. There I showed a build. So it's like every content creator uses this build. It's exactly the same, nothing special. But you can just check it out. I guess we GG him. Yeah, so it's like typical traits. Yeah, Arcane, Air, and Evoker. I can also showcase it after this fractal. Oh, not this fractal, but this and 2 more after that, yeah. Do you think Quickplay will give insights? I don't know. I think they will not give insights. At least maybe they make it so something like the, how is it called? The EOD strike missions, you know, the End of Dragon strike missions give you 1 insight if you clear all of them. That would be an interesting incentive for players to engage with the quick play feature for longer. If it would be every 10 times you clear quick play, you get 1 legendary insight or something. Maybe something like that. I have no more information than you do, but that could be it. Something like that. Yeah. Welcome. Yeah, glad you like the Antiquary, the low intensity build. It's really, really fun. Yeah, and really, really strong. Will be able to get the normal amount of LI in quick play? I doubt it will be the normal amount. I think that would really disincentivize people to getting better at it. At raiding. I think they want to find a way that actually incentivizes players to get into quick play, but then continue to go into normal modes and even challenge modes and raids. You don't want to have a situation where there is no real incentive to go in normal mode raids and everyone is playing like the quick play feature and nothing else. Because then why would you have the time and effort put into normal mode raids in the first place? So I think there will be a step up in rewards from quick play to normal mode and then to challenge mode, hopefully. But there will be good rewards in quick play, specifically for veterans as well, because they want that. You saw that with the fractal quick play, they want to have players engage with it, not only new players, but also veterans. And that's only possible if they do really good rewards for veterans in quick play as well. So a legendary ring, for example. Yeah. The patch preview will be happening hopefully on Tuesday, shortly before the patch comes out. Hopefully before that, but I doubt it. Typically it's just directly before it. Yeah. If that is the case, we need another use for LI past the legendary armor and ring. Yeah, that is a fair point. I always mention that raids need a reward rework to some extent, let's call it like that, because DLI for most players are either unobtainable because you don't play raids, and for players that play a lot of raids, it's completely useless. So there is almost no middle ground there. And I feel like there needs to be more incentive to play raids after you did your weekly clear, so that you actually have fun playing them. So if you want to have continuous content, you should get a little bit of reward for playing them again. That's what I feel like. I know some people hate this concept, but I personally think if you want to farm raids 24/7, why not be able to do so and not just get like 3 green gear for that? I don't know. That's just my take, but I personally really would like that. Farming clovers in World vs. World is a waste of time. I mean, it depends if you like World vs. World. I think it's not a waste of time. But if you don't, I mean, there are faster ways to get in it, yeah. Buy weekly clovers and chill and farm clovers in World vs. World and PvP? Exactly. That's what I do. Yeah, that's what I do. Trying to make my first legendary. I'm farming clovers in World vs. World. Is there a better way? So I made a whole video about how to get mystic clovers, but the best way for you if you like World vs. World is World vs. World then. If you play other game modes as well, all the weekly vendors are, in my opinion, worth it. Like raids, fractals, strikes, PvP, World vs. World. They have weekly vendors where you can turn in some mystic coins for guaranteed mystic clovers, which is in the long run the best option. But it is definitely not as, how can I say, cheap as getting it from reward tracks. Other options would be Drizzlewood Coast, or if you have a lot of unbound magic and volatile magic, you can turn those into, if you're lucky, some mystic coins, mystic clovers. Nice. Mystic coins as well, mystic clovers. Rather, not mystic coins, sorry. But I don't know. It's a little bit. Mystic clovers and especially mystic coins are quite hard to farm. It's not something that you can like farm 200 per week without using Mystic Forge. It's just like you need to spend time and just wait for it. That's just how it works, sadly. Yeah. Yeah, daily raid boss, exactly. Like a daily raid boss, maybe 1 or 2, maybe a little bit more, because 1 is maybe just a little bit less, but maybe 1 is enough, who knows. But I would really like it, yeah. Like having a daily raid boss. I'm not sure if we get CC here. Oh my god, how close was that? Yeah, I need more CC skills, to be honest. Don't have enough CC. Yeah, a daily raid boss, like just giving like maybe 1 gold, like for a daily raid boss, and everyone would do it. That would be awesome. Like just a little bit of incentive. Maybe daily raid wing, maybe that would be too much, who knows. But a daily raid boss at least, that would help a lot. Like coming from quick play into normal mode with the daily bosses, yeah, absolutely, would be awesome. Is there such a build as Condi Luminary? No. I mean, you can make it work, yeah, don't get me wrong, it can work. Guardian can always be played as a Condi build, but it's not specifically good. It's more like Dragon Hunter, where you can play it Condi, but it's like you shoot yourself in the foot. And in your arm, I would say, because it's like pretty bad. It doesn't have any trade support that makes it like really like a good option. So I would say if they don't change anything about it, I would say don't play Condi Luminary. It is not a good option. Yeah. Them removing magnified shard cap would be great since you can trade it for trophy shipments. That would be interesting, yeah, good idea. But the thing is, they are really scared about making stuff like that not tradable or like not kept so that you can like permanently inflate the economy with stuff like that, because those shards are then people would be incentivized to do the fastest boss over and over and over again. I personally think the smartest way, now that's really like talking crazy, but I think the smartest way of handling this feature is not giving us an increased cap, but giving us a dungeon treatment. Not in terms of we ignore dungeons forever. No, I mean the specific mechanic that you have to do like 8 dungeon paths and then you get some gold reward. That would be awesome, because that would incentivize you to play, let's say, maybe 8, maybe 10 bosses, whatever, yeah. And then you get a big chunk of magnetite shards, maybe get some gold on top of that, and you cannot farm the same boss over and over. That would be such an awesome feature, in my opinion. People would be playing probably the best 10 bosses, yeah, sure, but it's better than having only a single boss being farmed over and over. I think that is really, that would be awesome. I would really like that. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm like too, I don't know, too hyped up on this, but I think that is a good thing, yeah. I'd like to have a sync for all my my legendary insights. Yes, I also would like to have that, absolutely. At least a little bit of value from them, yeah. I agree. Absolutely agree. The nerfs will be out on the 9th of December. 9th of December. I could go with Spear, yeah. Spear has some CC, but then I don't have... Nah, I don't know. Can I get some CC? What is CC here? There's some CC. That has a little bit of days. Let's do that. Let's go boost charge. Yep. I need more CC here. Best way to get karma? Oh yes, best way coming up in 3 days. Winter's Day has the best karma farm in the entire game. Video about it very soon as well. So just wait for the video, but in general, Winter's Day gives you a lot of karma sources. That's the best farm of karma. It is really good. Always happy to help, always happy to help. Yeah, Ritualist is fun, absolutely, but it's way too overperforming. So Ritualist will definitely get a nerf. I would be like extremely surprised if Ritualist wouldn't get any nerfs. Like, I would be so surprised. Like, it would be like... I would be like very surprised. I highly doubt it. The same goes for a lot of other Visions of Eternity specs. I just don't see them getting not nerfed. CC, yeah, there we go. I have some CC, but I'm not the highest amount of CC ever on a healer, I have to be honest. So now we have to like, I have not Rampage up. That's a little bit scary, Okay. Okay, we did that. Okay, maybe we could ignore the sorrow, to be honest. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That, for example, I think that is possible to avoid with the elite skill. That is, I think, possible to avoid with the We Never Yield elite here on Paragon. But it's fine, we don't care. Okay. We did it, very good. Iceblood Saga 5 is an easy way to get lots of karma and very simple. Yeah, I do it every day. I don't even notice the karma that I have because it's slowly stockpiling, and I have like a lot of like the skins and legendaries and all that stuff. So it doesn't really matter to me for the most part that I need karma for all of that, because I just get karma passively. But of course, I think karma is a currency that is somewhat hard to farm efficiently. So it just stockpiles over time. So that means that you just have to spend more time playing the game. And that's not always what people are looking for. You know, if you want to know the best farm, you want to get it the most efficiently. It's just getting it passively is not the most efficient way oftentimes for players that want to have millions of karma within a week. But I think like doing your dailies and stuff like that is definitely helpful. Yeah. So here we probably should get just a lot of Condi cleanses, I guess. What is it here? Nah, we need stability. They explode. I don't like that. It's fine either way. Don't think you ever need to focus on farming karma. You get it from literally everything. Exactly. But some people need karma for a lot of their stuff that they want to get. And don't play those game modes like Iceblood Saga Strike missions, like Fractals, like competitive modes that give you a decent chunk of karma all the time. If you don't play that, then you might struggle. If you only play like, I don't know, Auric Basin every single day and Chuck Garant, then you might not have enough karma to craft all the legendaries that you want to craft. Maybe, who knows? But then farming karma on Winter's Day is a very good option. Yeah. At the start of an expansion, the specs are OP, then they nerf them later on. Absolutely. But I don't think previous expansions had that OP elite specs compared to others. Nah, I don't know. Path of Fire elite specs were at the time like insane. Like I remember like playing like Firebrand with like 60k DPS or something. Back then it was like double the amount of like what we had previously, while having crazy utility, while having like just everything that you ever asked for. It's like, I don't know, that was always almost the case, especially like competitive mods were absolutely broken when they came out as well. I don't know. I feel like that's just the usual like cycle. Yeah. Welcome to Mixia. Welcome. Nice that you made my stream at some point. Very good. Check out Nomixia, by the way. Yeah, check out their channel. Really good. Do you even spend karma? I usually buy Eternal Eye Shot and nothing else. I mean, if I have to be honest, yeah, I spend my karma almost exclusively in skins and legendaries. Like, and I have all legendaries and stuff like that. So, and I still have like 40 million karma. So, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm the right person to ask. Maybe I just play the game too much. Maybe I am just like playing the correct things to get enough karma. But I'm with you there. I think karma is a currency. If you play a lot, you probably have a lot of it. At least I never had a problem getting karma. Like, never, ever. And like I said, I have all the Arena skins, I have all the legendaries and stuff, so I don't really need that karma even after I have all of that. I don't know. Yeah. That's just, everyone is different. Everyone plays the game differently, I guess. Yeah. Nice. Everyone is here. Yes, everyone is here in chat. Very nice, yeah. Can't you buy 10 shards per day? So, you mean you mean you can buy for karma some how's it called, Eternal Eye Shards as well, but if you convert Eternal Eye Shards into gold, you need some karma for that as well. It's not like huge karma, but it's a little bit more than you would normally want to spend if you want to grind karma right now. So I would say there's always, the thing is you get karma from almost everywhere, but you also need it for almost everything. And if you're a new player, you might struggle to have it, but I think for most veterans, at least for me personally, karma is not a big problem. It's not like a lot of people have problems with spirit shards. I don't have a problem there either, but I think that is a more common problem that people have than karma. At least I hear it here in chat, yeah. I stumbled in here more or less. Exactly. As everyone does. And hopefully no one leaves again. That's the trap of Syrma, yeah. Yeah. When I worked on Vision and Aurora at the same time, I was missing a lot. Yeah, I mean, if you work on a lot of stuff like legendaries and skins and collections, yeah, sometimes the karma drops a bit. But I personally think that karma is a resource, like I said, that you get from almost everywhere. So, to be honest, can I get the kill here? I'm not as, like, I don't have that much damage. Oh, that was close. I don't have that much damage. No, we lost someone. That's not good. And that's why I don't like this fractal either, you know, because if someone like just dies, that can completely screw up the whole fractal. That's fine. Happens. Happens. We can maybe get the res even. buy the orb. It's always good, like spend 10 gold to revive yourself. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a very annoying fractal. I really don't like this. Any future plans for 0 to Hero? Yes. If the expansion has no content for me to do anymore, then I will go back to the 0 to Hero account and play there and get some legendaries there, and maybe even like some interesting other achievements, like, I don't know, getting into fractal CMs, raid CMs, stuff like that. Yeah. But for now, I'm really enjoying like playing the new elite specs and having like theory crafting, build crafting, and stuff like that. But we will go back to 0 to Hero if there is no interesting content for me to do on my main account anymore. That's the idea. Yes, I'm playing Paragon as a healer right now, yes. I wanted to try it in Fractals, and it's you can see the boon output, it's really good. It's not like insane in utility with reflex and stuff like that, but stability, boon output, it's really good. Like having perma resistance on your party, yo, that's a, like in Fractals, quite a nice thing to have. Yeah. Random question, what is the most profitable way to use Eternal Eye Shots? So Tyrann Defenses right now is the most profitable way, but that might change in the future. So right now, yes, do Eternal Eye Shots, do like Eternal Eye Shots and then Defenses. If you want the, like in 5 years, that might change back to Volatile Magic, because Volatile Magic is like the way that gives you the easiest tier 6 material access, which is stuff that will always be somewhat valuable. The Glacial Shards and the Amalgated Draconic Lodestones, they might decrease in price again, and then defense seals get less interesting. But we will have to see. We will have to see. For now, definitely defense seals. The CC is also not that great, to be honest, on Paragon. But it, I mean, doesn't really matter too much in this Fractal specifically. I was only doing alt perking and buying shards for a while, so that's how I ran out. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, you know. I have made a whole video where I converted 136,000 of those Eternal Eye Shards. So, yeah, I mean, everybody has a different way of doing a routine in a game. I really like to have like big routine daily things, and in the long run that pays off. So yeah, everyone does it differently. I got a 1.9k spirit charts, so I'm good for now. Yeah, exactly. Some people have a lot of spirit charts, some people don't. I have like I said, a lot of spirit charts. I never have a problem with those, but I always know that especially new players struggle to get spirit charts. So that's why I always mention it in guides and stuff when there is a good way to farm them, because oftentimes that's exactly what people want. A good way to farm spirit charts, maybe even karma. Yeah. They need a game generator that just gives you a name that hasn't been taken. That is like a name generator in the game, in the character creator. That would be really fun. Like with a real name, not just like a random numbers and letters together, but a real name. That would be really fun, to be honest. That would be fun. I would like that. Would not be that hard for them, actually. I at least I, as someone that doesn't develop games, would have the understanding that it shouldn't be that hard, to be honest, because they know what the database says, what names they cannot take. Maybe just make set up an AI model or something that gives you the names that make sense. I don't know. Yeah. The nerfs are happening on the 9th of December. Yes. Yeah, glad you liked the 0 to Hero. More coming for sure. What classes specs are getting nerfed? Probably all of Divisions of Eternity specs, with the exception, I might guess, of Paragon, maybe Gale Shot, and maybe Troubadour. But all the others, I would be very, very surprised if they wouldn't get a nerf. And even the ones that I just excluded, I think they might get nerfs for competitive modes. Yeah. So it's just like Guild Wars 2 right now has insane, just everything, power creep, feature creep of the new stuff. So it would be very surprising to me if they didn't nerf that stuff down, so that all expansions are at least somewhat I don't know, on the same level, or at least useful for situations, you know? Because right now, there is no reason why you would take a power harbinger over a power ritualist. Not a single one. Ritualist is just more tanky, has more utility, has more boons, has maybe, if you want to, maybe the argument that you have more range damage on power harbinger, maybe, but that's about it. Everything else feels like it's just like a downgrade, and that should not be the case. In my opinion, as specs should be designed that they have a niche where they are really good and can be played in all situations. And right now it seems like the niche for Ritualist, for example, is all niches at the same time. So I hope they will change that to an extent that we actually in the end are all somewhat happy with it. Yeah, that is my hope. Yeah, that is my big hope. No, I cannot come up with names that fast. Would you recommend dual pistol data for new player? Yes, I think that is a very easy class and easy playstyle to start out with. Yeah, it's really good in like single boss encounters like raids and strike missions and challenge mode fractals. It's not as good in open world where there are a lot of mobs, because oftentimes having a lot of enemies around and you don't have really good AoE clear. You have some piercing, but that's about it. Everything else is like single target. Then it's not the best, but for a lot of single target situations, it's a very, very safe pick. Yeah, definitely good starting build. Yeah. What to do with Tyrian defenses? So I can showcase this. I have a whole video about this, so if you want to more concise and more like showing all the numbers on screen and stuff, you can check out my video. But you go to, for example, Eye of the North, and then you go to the Gar Leadclaw NPC. So this guy here in the corner, this one. And then you go here and say, where is it here? Exchange, and scroll down. And then you can go and exchange, for example, Eternal Ice Shards for Tyrian defenses. Let me do that. Let's put 660 Tyrian defenses in. Let's do that. So I got this now. I have some Tyrian defenses, and then I go to the guy here, Tactician Erlandson, and then I turn in my Eternal my 700 Tyrian defenses here. And right now the best option is script supply boxes. If you buy those, I can showcase this here with 28 that I can buy. I buy those, and then you can open them, and they can give you a random chunk, a lot of chunk actually. But if you're lucky, you get amalgated draconic lodestones, which is very expensive right now. That costs like 30 gold on the TP. Or you can get glacial shards, which are also 1.5 to 2 gold. So really, really good loot if you're lucky. And if you open a lot of boxes like I did a couple of weeks ago, then you will get a decent gold just influx. Yeah. So let's see what we get. We get a lot of chunk here. Anything important? Probably not, because I'm never lucky in this game. I got some glacial lodestones. They are okay. Yeah. But you see a little bit of gold that you get here. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. Yeah, the niche is having as few drawbacks as possible, I guess. Yeah, I guess that seems to be the niche. Yeah. So, cleaning up the inventory here a bit more. Is Power Willbender viable in open world, or are there better options? So, Power Willbender is a viable option in open world. I would say it's not the best option, but I think you should play what you enjoy, and especially if you have someone that provides boons to you, Power Willbender is really, really strong because it has good burst, it has amazing cleave, like insane cleave, and it also is like quite mobile, and I think stuff like that helps in open world a lot. If you want to be a solo build, like alone in open world, then I would say Condi is better, Celestial is better typically, but you can make a Power Willbender work as well. It's just like, depends what you like the most. Yeah. Absolutely. All of that can work. So Eternal Ice Shards you can convert into volatile magic and then get trophy shipments, which give you tier 6 materials. That is a way to do it. But right now, with the current numbers, amalgated Tremstone, draconic lodestones, and the glacial shards, it's more gold, roughly even double the amount on average, that you will get from the same amount of shards using the defense seal method rather than the Eternal Ice Shards into volatile magic method. Yeah. What's the PvP build with the most CC? Probably some kind of warrior, mace, hammer variant. That can work, yeah. Like Spellbreaker typically. Yeah. I just figured out there's a dungeon reward track in PvP for spirit shots. Yeah, there are a lot of good reward tracks. That is true. That armor is a outfit. This outfit is called Pharaoh's Regalia. So it's an outfit that you can purchase sometimes from the gem store. It's just an outfit here. Pharaoh's Regalia outfit. Yeah. It feels like it was too grew in popularity this year. Is it because of Visions of Eternity? You feel like the influx of new players through your videos and Twitch? So I feel like the new players influx is definitely happening. I think it's maybe because of Visions of Eternity, but I think it's more because of other games being not as popular anymore. So a lot of people flee from World of Warcraft Classic or like normal World of Warcraft and come to the game and try Guild Wars 2 because they don't have that much to do right now, or had in the last couple of weeks and months. And of course, New World being somewhat dead now, a lot of players fleeing to Guild Wars 2 as well. So I think it's more like other games doing bad than Guild Wars 2 being specifically crazy good this year. But of course, if you do better than a competition, that draws a lot of players to you. So that's more like it, yeah. Is Catalyst better than Evoker? Right now, no. Evoker is straight up in every single game mode better than Catalyst. In every single game mode, yeah. It's just like Catalyst is more flexible in a lot of situations. So I would say if the numbers of Evoker get tuned down, I think Catalyst will become better again and more reasonable, hopefully, because I feel like it should be a place for Catalyst and Evoker. It should not always be either or, but right now it would be, in like 95% of the cases, would be somewhat stupid to say to anybody Evoker is worse than Catalyst. There are some builds like solo builds maybe, or oftentimes in World vs. World as a roamer that is bruisery. Maybe it's better to go for Catalyst, but it's a big maybe, yeah. I think for a newcomer, Evoker is easier to learn because Catalyst is more combo oriented, where Evoker is more spammy. But I think you should pick the one that you enjoy, because in the end, it will probably get balanced and they should be the same. And you should have chosen the one that you actually enjoy playing. Try them both. I personally would say Catalyst is more combo oriented, where Evoker is more spammy, but both is like Elementalist. Both feel like an Elementalist, yeah. Biomancer is a cool new relic. It's a really cool new relic that heals you when you apply bleeding or poison. So when you apply bleeding or poison, in PvP it heals you 70, in PvE it heals you like double the amount, like 140 or something, 130, something around this, which is really good, but it is not good on a lot of builds. It is good on some builds, but only on those builds. If you play a burning-oriented build, it doesn't have any value. If you're playing a power build, it doesn't have any value. So it's like, it's not crazy good. But in some situations, it can be really, really good. Like, and that's often enough. Yeah, often enough, yeah. Evoker will be nerfed in 3 days, absolutely. I really don't get how they killed New World right after a successful expansion. I have no clue. It's just like big cooperations and stuff. They have other ideas how to make money. I don't know. I would never have done that either, but that's how they decided. And hopefully we get some more players out of that, and Guild Wars 2 will hopefully thrive a little bit of that. And that's why I always am happy to see new players here and returning players and whatever. Just let me know if you have any questions. Always happy to help. And of course, check out my YouTube channel. I have so much content in my YouTube channel helping new players and veterans alike. So just check it out. Cannot stress that enough. I came back to Guild Wars 2 for the first time since release, completely blown away by the quality and how good the graphics have aged. Yeah, I mean that some people hate the graphics of Guild Wars 2. Some people love it. I personally think the gameplay is that what helps me the most, why I play it so much. But I think it's definitely not looking horrible. Yeah, it's at least in my opinion. We will see how the future evolves, how it turns out in the future. But for now, I think it's okay. It's okay. Not the best looking game, but not the worst either. I just want to learn Elementalist after playing Reaper, and oh my god, my brain hurts so much. Yeah, I mean, Reaper is a very straightforward class, way easier in all game modes than Elementalist typically. Elementalist is way more like, there's so much to learn, and it's not a class that you can easily play and expect really good results, at least most of the time. Why is my team always staying back? Why the enemy team is like pushing like crazy? It's like always my team is like, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god. That is nasty. That is absolutely disgusting. Did we killed 1, 2, 3 people? How many people did we kill? That was disgusting. That's why I mean, like, Spear Elementalist is so good in push. It's so good in push. Yeah, that was quite good. What do you think is the most annoying duelist build? I would say Conduit. Like, absolutely. I think Conduit is like right now in all game modes. It's just so good. Maybe get the kill here even. We have to get some interrupts here. To concentrate a bit. I cannot commentate my gameplay all that much if I'm too concentrated. I'm sorry. We should get the kill here on the Conduit. Very good, very good. Nice, we can get the consoles even. Maybe if we kill sneaky. Nope. I wish Weaver was a bit stronger. Yeah, I think Weaver deserves either a complete rework or like crazy big buffs to the numbers. That would be awesome. Like Weaver numbers increase. That would be really good. I would like that a lot. Let me give that, please. That just ignore my things. That's awesome. Like now I have 2 stacks of the sword buff. Yeah, my team also won outnumbered, so that's fine. The sword buff is carrying like this build even harder than other builds. It's crazy good. Got them. Got another one. Very good. Yeah, I think this match is over. I think they already like gave up almost. Sniped. And the Conduit is a little bit scary because I don't have that many contact lenses, but if you have too many sword buffs and my team is also there, yeah, that's like a pretty straightforward match. Nothing to say too much. I'm a new world refugee. Loving Guild Wars 2 and your videos have helped a lot. Very nice to hear that, yeah. I mean, not nice to hear that you have to flee from New World, but that you are here in Guild Wars 2 now and that my videos help. That's good. But yeah, I feel like Guild Wars 2 has thrived this year, not necessarily because of its own strengths, but more of the weaknesses of other companies. And I think that's okay. It's not like good, but that's how general like it works in real world. Yeah, sometimes you have something that is negative for the others. That means it's good for you. Yeah, yeah. That's I guess how it goes sometimes. Clean up the inventory a bit. Yeah, very good. Scrapper Amalgam. I think right now Scrapper is really good with the super speed and stuff. And if you want the absolute top tier DPS, Amalgam has a little bit more, but we will have to wait until Tuesday to give you my final analysis what's better. But I think both of them have their place. In competitive modes, it's definitely Amalgam though. Yeah. I really like the spear as well. I think it's not everybody's favorite, but I think this spear is like one of the legendary weapons that has a more down-to-earth, more grounded look. I really like it. I think it is not the most like the best-looking legendary weapon, but it's definitely a nice one. I think it's definitely one that I would say is more what I like. It's not something that I would say is like as flashy as an Eternity or something, which is okay, but I think it's a nice spear. Thanks, Tommy. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the Prime. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Thanks for your support. But yeah, I really like this spear. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's the whole truth though. I came back because of a few videos about the new expansions, so all of the new content, and thought, why not come back? I mean, that's even better then, you know? It's like, if like new players are getting attention to the game because there's something new happening, that's even better, because that means that the expansion is actually not only good for veterans but also for new players. And then maybe of course I'm just a veteran that speaks from my experience. Maybe you're right. Maybe the new expansion helped in the perfect time where people are looking for new MMO, seeing that Guild Wars 2 is not only alive but also gets new expansions that create excitement, that people actually think, oh, maybe I should try it. Yeah, I think that is definitely on top of the already good pull factors to Guild Wars 2 for sure. And I hope we keep the players. That is for me the only concern that I have as a veteran, is that I hope that they will keep the players engaged so that they will not quit after 2 months, 3 months, because they think, what? Horizontal progression? I'm done with my Ascended gear? What should I get now? I don't have any gear progression anymore. Yeah. Thanks, Scare. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the Prime. Nice hype train. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. Yes. But yeah, I really hope that the next update coming with February, I think it's like scheduled, we can check. It's scheduled in 59 days. So it's on the 3rd of February, I think. This one will be hopefully getting new players attention to raids, specifically quick play raids. And if they bind another legendary, maybe a free legendary, to quick play raids, then people hopefully will be interested in playing stuff that they might not have tried before, and that continuously keep them engaging with new stuff in the game. And hopefully that will make them not only new players, but also will keep them going and become veterans at some point. I think that would be awesome. Absolutely, yeah. I was mildly surprised that the new legendaries don't have a kill animation, to be honest, especially since they aren't doing sets anymore, but rather single double weapons. Yeah, I was surprised as well. Maybe they thought it has too much visual clutter to always do that. Maybe they didn't have a good animation for it. Maybe they did not have enough time to do it. There are multiple reasons. I think the new legendary is also nice. I think it is not like the most crazy looking one, but it's also not the worst. Yeah. I'm hoping it's the ring that quick play reward. Only legendaries are missing. I would say 99% that the quick play reward will be the ring, because the ring will come, at least that's what they mentioned in a blog post, will come at the same time as the quick play. So why would you put out a legendary with a new feature and no new content if they are disjunct and they will not be necessary for each other? I think it's like almost guaranteed, yeah, that the ring will be. Yes, quick play raids will be harder for new players than quick play fractals for sure, but I think if they scale it right, I think it might still be a very, very good addition. Yeah. Welcome, Takers. Welcome, welcome. The nerfs are incoming at the 9th of December, so in 3 more days. We don't know yet what kind of nerfs they will be, but they will definitely tune down the numbers. So I would be like very surprised if you look at a Conduit, if you look in PvP, if you look at Ritualist in PvE. Like, if you look at those classes, let me check. If you look at those classes and those traits, like this trait, or for example, that you have this trait here. This trait is just insanity. How good this trait makes Ritualist with the Shroud, with how easy it is to upkeep the Life Force drain and stuff like that, while also providing those boons on top of that with almost no DPS loss. They have to nerf those numbers. Absolutely. I think there is no world where they don't nerf those numbers. I personally would even say making wound duration required to some extent on a quickness DPS Ritualist would also make it work to some extent. I don't know. I feel like that is, I would be shocked, like absolutely shocked if they wouldn't nerf that. Yeah. Yeah. But we don't know what's getting nerfed. It will be Visions of Eternity specs mostly, and hopefully we also get some buffs to them, to the underperforming ones, or at least to the underperforming traits. But it might just be some kind of hotfix balance patch where they change numbers that are overperforming, and will not do crazy reworks, will not do some like big changes to professions that are like 6 years old. This will come in January, I would expect. I expect on Tuesday just some balance numbers of the Visions of Eternity specs. That is my hope and my educated guess. Yeah. Yes, the Winter's Day patch will also be on the 9th. Winter's Day will happen at the same time as the balance patch. Yes. The biggest thing for me, for Ritualist, in my opinion, is that the quick DPS and full DPS variant are only like 1k DPS apart. Exactly. It's like really bad design if you have a quick DPS build that is like just almost always the best choice. Because having just a little bit less DPS for permanent quickness, I would always take that one. And I feel like they have to nerf both of them like by 15k DPS. Yeah, that would be something that is fair because it's so flexible and so much utility. If you nerf it down like crazy, it would still be worthwhile playing in hard situations, or if you want to have like safety and some support in the kit. And you should better go for something that has more DPS. But I made a whole video about this, and it was a very well-researched video and concise video where I talked about 10 minutes how I think DPS should be balanced in Guild Wars 2, that specs that have range and melee should be balanced a little bit differently, specs that have utility in the kit should be balanced differently, specs that are very tanky should be balanced differently, stuff like that. But not everyone agreed, which is fine, but I think they should definitely do that. Yeah. Staff Core Elementalist will be like 70k. I mean, I wouldn't get my hopes up there, Snowdrop. What do you think will happen to Luminary? I don't know. I think Luminary will get maybe some boon duration nerfs, maybe some utility cooldown nerfs, but I think it will probably have rather similar DPS numbers. I think Luminary is more of the one that gets a utility nerf rather than a damage nerf. Yeah. Doing Soto CM convergences, Amalgam pulling 75k DPS on Arc DPS on the boss. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit overtuned, some of the specs. Let's leave it at that. Yeah. Yeah, Winter's Day will be really nice festival. I like it a lot. Also making guides about it, so be sure to check out my YouTube channel for that. Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. Some of the new big ticket streamers that came, they already left again. I really hope that they stuck around for a little bit longer, but it was expected. It was very like nice that they checked out the game, but it's very expected that they will leave. Hopefully they come back in the future at some point again, so that we have some constant like interest in Guild Wars 2 and not only like this time once and that was it. Hopefully there will be more in the future as well. Who knows? It's just my hope there. Yes, a karma guide, exactly, Taggers. You know it already. Yeah. They thought they would jump into competitive and dominate with no experience. Yeah, I mean that's a bit of a mistake or a flaw of their thinking, to be honest, because like that's exactly the same if I would try World of Warcraft right now and would go into Mythic Plus and would expect to actually get the kills. That is like, how would that work? You know, how can you jump into something that you have no clue how it works and expect to perfectly know everything? It's like, what? How? It will not work, yeah? Just because you think you have knowledge doesn't mean you actually have the knowledge, yeah? I mean, yeah, everyone is different. I wouldn't expect that, though. Yeah. A legendary runes worth crafting? I mean, I have them. I think I have 7 of them. I even have the Aqua Breeder, but I don't have it equipped. Okay. Yeah, but yes, I would say they are worth crafting. Are they, like, insane? Are they, like... Would you recommend? Would I say this is the best value item that you can get? Probably not. Like, I would say there are probably more things that you should get first. But having 7 legendary runes can be a very big convenience. I personally use them all the time, obviously, at least 6 of them. But if you are a new player, I think it wouldn't be my focus, especially with the current prices of the, what's it called, Lucent modes. I think that's might not be like the most insane value that you can get, but yeah, just my thinking here. Most streamers are variety types, so they don't stick around for slow paced games like Guild Wars 2, which is fine. Yeah, I think that's completely fine. Snowflake Gobbler is worth for me. I play PvP and you get 25 reward track progress. Yes, it's awesome. I also have it. Highly recommended. Is there a reason why you didn't use the F1 before doing Dazzling Hammer in your Luminary guide? So, not a real reason. I just wanted... No, I would say I just say if you want to get the most amount of it, yes, do use it. Personally, it's not like changing insane value. I would rather keep the F1 if I want to have quickness and have struggle with it. But yes, you're right. If you want to deal a little bit more damage, yes, use the F1 like directly before using the hammer. Absolutely correct. Yeah. Yes, only Rompenstein can do it. Exactly. We don't know anything about the nerfs yet. Sadly, nothing yet. Nothing yet. Yes, you can get both of the gobblers. I use that in my PvP characters all the time. So I use the birthday booster as well as the PvP from the festival gobbler here and the experience booster. Those 3 boosters I use on all my competitive modes, so World vs. World and PvP characters, because they give insane amount of like additional loot for playing the same amount of time. So if you play one PvP match and have those boosters on, you get almost like 2.5 times the amount of loot that you would get otherwise. It's really good. So don't waste it. I would say if you have the gems and the money, in the long run you will thank me. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's also the end of today's stream. Thanks a lot for watching. I really enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Hope you found it entertaining. If you want to see more debates, tier lists, guides, all about Guild Wars 2, be sure to check out my YouTube channel. Link is in the description if you are not already on YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. I wish you all a very nice weekend and take care. And hopefully we see each other after the Blends patch. Hopefully we all survive without any big shocks. So thanks for watching. See you around. Take care.